And I never really listened to the title theme, did I? I always just kind of went straight through it. Zero fucks given, just gotta move, baby! So I wanna start this video off by doing what science calls putting my paws right here. Wasn't like a big update for Night in the Woods the Weird Autumn update? I don't wanna like spoil the mood or anything. Yes, Scary Dave, how to Putian and all that. So I don't know how to tell you this, buddy, but I'm pretty sure that Weird Autumn is just the fucking name of the expansion they made for this game. This game is almost 8 years. It's 8 years old, pretty much. The fact that the creator died. I remember someone, and my first introduction to this was some guy, Alex Diener, I think, playing Longest Night and Lost Constellation, and then we got this, and Jesus, man, that guy died. So he killed himself, I think, because of Zoe Quinn or something. There was apparently a lot of... But what I'm upset about is we'll never get a sequel. There's no way. And that's the greatest shame, is that this art will forever be overshown by the fact that this guy's just gone now. 35 years old. Let's see, he's credited as designer, musician, and programmer. So he had his finger in a lot of puddings, shall we say. Considering the music of this, oof. Let's see. Was accused of physical and emotional abuse by Zoe Quinn, who he previously cohabited with in Winnipeg in 2012. Following the accusation, the team cut ties with Holoka, with Scott Bronson saying, "We take his allegations very seriously as a team." The team stated that other corroborating evidence related and presented to them, the publisher. Pinji backed the decision, also supposed to was planned 4 days after. So it took 4 days for this man's life to be destroyed so utterly and completely that he just stopped living. Jesus. What a weird timeline, right? The year before like, I'm just talking about like how the he made Aquaria. He made Aquaria? Are you kidding me? Hold up. He made Aquaria? That game is so weird. I remember buying Aquaria and being like, I don't get this. I do not get this game. What is it? What is it trying to tell me? That game, I don't know if I'm just a big fat idiot or what, but I played Aquaria and the first thing that happened to me is I just didn't get it. It just didn't click in my head. I played that game and I just lost myself in the process. Oof. But yeah, what a offspring fling as a musician. He made the music for a lot of things. How interesting. But he made Aquaria. Like, he's straight up programmer, designer, audio. But yeah. And we never did. I really like Night in the Woods. I think it's fantastic. I think it is, what is this? But yeah. I legitimately am sad that the odds of there being an... I mean, to be fair, Night in the Woods is one of those things where you really only need it once, right? You don't need a sequel to Night in the Woods, because it's a very self-contained thing about a rust town and the weird cult that grew up around it under the impression that they could fix things, despite it being, like, great. Like, the real Cthulhu was the economy. The real Cthulhu was the economy all along. Or to be specific, the weird monsters that sit at the top of companies that make decisions. How strange. Let's see. In the Greek mythology, chthonic or chthonian were gods and spirits inhabit the underworld or existed in or under the earth. We're typically associated with death and fertility. Death or fertility. We got two choices for you, buddy. If you live in the underworld, you either fuck or you flame. Gosh. Is that where Cthulhu came from? I like how chthonic. How is this pronounced? Why don't you have a little pronunciation guide like a lot of people do? Wikipedia, come on. Chthonic deities have been compared to, more commonly referred to, Olympic gods and their associated rites and cults. Olympic gods were understood to reference that would exist above the earth, particularly good for them. They get to put the little pappy paws. But yeah, I how about we just start the actual recording and get to the actual video, and I'm just gonna lay down something that I have issues with going right out of the gate. So, as we start recording, I'm gonna say this: why the hell is your goddamn crossfic named after the actual expansion of the game? What are you doing? Now, there's a bigger problem that Weird Autumn suffers from. How do I explain this? Weird Autumn is Ultraviolet Prose. It is overwrought. It uses way too many words to say nothing at all. It, for some reason, sticks to a very add-on point of view. Like, the camera's just shoved up this man's ass, and it just refuses to actually let Anon be the POV, despite it obviously wanting nothing less. It is, weirdly enough, it doesn't come across as pretentious. It just comes across as really confused. You know, like Will said, he might be a little confused, but he got spirit. My god, you could cut half the words, and I say that about a lot. You could cut, like, let's say 4/5, 80%, and you'd probably have a better story in the end. You'll see as we go. Also, we're in 2014. We are technically 10 years before anything happens. Also, we get a quote. I want to point out, I forgot, I think it's, again, Infamous, which has, like, the fucking writer quoting himself, which is the ballsiest move, and I think has a certain degree of, like, that's just fucking adorable, man. How can you be this cute? I'm gonna pinch your little cheek, buddy. I had a really bad time. Let's put it like that. Not like I was being depressed or anything. I was just creatively just completely sick and tired of myself. I looked in the mirror and I only saw a man who could shout about things angrily. And I wasn't making anything, and I just felt so mad. It felt like a one-way street, you know. I'd lost my passion. So, how about we do this? Like I said, we'll get back to Wani Kiss later. I've uploaded a bunch of stuff that I recorded in my own time, and I don't want to, like, record or stream Chapter 8 when we're not even... Like, where are we with the uploads? I don't know. I don't keep track of that stuff. I don't have a little schedule on my little list, you know. No, you can't have a robot puppy because it's a scam. Oh, no! Atomic Shrimp, why must you ruin my life? Batman vs. the Punisher is a no-kill rule a joke. Well, it's the Joker. He loves jokes. Where are we with uploads? Yeah, we're in Chapter 5. I'm not doing Chapter 8 until we're, like, Chapter 6, 7, which should take a couple of days, and so next stream we'll probably get back to it. But I want to show this off, because I've been looking for some random fics, and there's a couple that are like, yeah, that's neat. That's what I like in fan fiction. It's just, it's got a little bit of zest, a little bit of energy, a little go-get-em attitude. But my god. This is like... Okay, listen. I mentioned before, there's another fic I mentioned, and I think it's called, what was it again? Living Memories? Which is also really overwritten in a bad way. But Living Memories at least has its feet on the ground. It's overambitious before I'd call it pretentious. That luxury I don't extend to Weird Autumn, which is just unapologetically... Well, you heard me, right? I keep forgetting the misconnection is just done. I need to read it. Yeah, Living Memories is the one I'm thinking of. Oh, that's also done! Holy shit! Oh no, they're splitting it into parts. Living Memories are timed together 7 months after prom, after the departure. Man, I can actually finish Living Memories. What a weird idea that is. But like I said, we'll get into this. And I'm just trying to hype myself up because like I said, oh my god! It just refuses to fucking shut the hell up and sit down and let life happen. So, final warning. I put my hands together in prayer and tell you, Weird Autumn is a lot. It is bad and it is a lot. It is my immortal... It's pretty much trying to be my immortal in terms of, this writing is so bad, I don't know how this guy thought this could be good. if you've never seen other writing before, this guy has like 11 other works at the minimum. Let me just put this up, right. If you go to this guy's profile on Archive of Our Own, he has listed 12 works under Wani, 11 under Volcano High, which probably is like combinational stuff. But like, oh, he has 12 works. It's straight up there. Yeah, he's 12 works. And this is what he decided to write? Like, you can say, well, he's trying to write big and flower. No. He does not write big and flowery. He does not write inspired or ephemeral. He doesn't write anything. He writes hot garbage, and it just comes out in big fat chunks. So, you might notice, I complain a lot about this, right? I complain a lot about fics that are like, new line, new line, new line, new line, where the descriptive text and the quotes are separate, or where it's like one line and then another line. It's like, just make that one paragraph, my man. It's not stylistic, or if there's no structure. This is the opposite problem, where every fucking paragraph is 5 lines long, and they're all just way too dense. Like I said, this is the opposite of diarrhea. It is not watery or fluid or liquid. It is just a chunky mess. Every single one of your cereals is this chewy cheese curd, the size of your fist. And we're going to get into it, and you've seen little, but here we go. I would like to remind you, for some reason we don't use Anon's POV. I don't know why. You can switch POVs in the middle of your story, man. You don't, come on. And there are other problems, but let's get to it. Let's start. I think with the original upload, I'll have to put in like a little, like, hey, 6 minutes in is when we actually start. So I'm going to wait until it's 6 minutes. So that way the time, makes sense. August 31st, 201,000,2014. Remember, that's technically 6 years before Snoot Game happens, which I think is 2020, and 9 years before Wani, which is 2023. I don't know if it's the same M, because my brain doesn't have the capacity to record secondaries for this stuff. Mr. Stroomer's back with more slop. My friend, I brought you the sloppiest slop. Remember how I complain about nothing to something? This is nothing to something, but in a different way. I mean, at least unlike nothing to something, you feel like there's a cohesive idea behind it, so I'll give it that much. 2.5. Oh, wait, no, we're not Anon. We're not Anon, so I need a narrator. Holy shit, we're actually doing third person. Ugh. Here we go. Oh, we'll just do the usual one. Let's just make Anon a whiny baby. 2.5 months. It took Anon nearly the entirety of summer to convince both himself and his parents that he had enough of his past school. His life was in a perpetual loop of... I mean, fair enough. Get into school, do something stupid to have his entire dumbass life revealed to the masses, and try to remain intact before school ends. Before school ends? Why not until school ends? Beg his parents to change school. Rinse and repito. Even though what happened there was not the biggest of his troubles, he still wished to start anew to get everything from the get-go. I mean, I kind of like this. This is a very nice alternative Anon, right? It's like this Anon is a little perfectionist crybaby. He does something bad and he's like, no, my life is over! And then he just... I like this. I like how this makes Anon sound like the biggest damn loser you've ever met. I don't give this Anon anything. What a dingus. His mistake was to believe that his parents really understood what he tried to say. What he wanted was a place where no one would know who he was, and when no one would bother him about his past. And what happened was the poor human kid was shipped on his way outside of town to a place called Possum Spring. I kind of like this. This really feels like, what is it called? Black Mirror? Like Twilight Zone? Like, this is the story. This is the story of a man by the name of Anon Emus. He is about to descend into the madness that people have named Possum Springs. And I kind of dig this. This isn't the problem, though. Don't worry. You have time to put on your waders. Have you ever heard of the useless Anon fic? It's basically Anon gets his guy to a fancy world. Okay, but is it at least ironic or self-aware? And a POV is a good POV. There are some concerns with certain types of POV depending on the story you're trying to tell. And you really shouldn't mix omniscient third person with first person. That's, the information conflict for the reader can be a bit confusing. But for the most part, you can just do whatever the fuck you want. From the technical point of view, this was from the technical? Like The Wire? Technically speaking, You mean? This is exactly what he wanted. He is now in a place where no one knows who he is. He'll spend his last year among those who'd never ever know about him. So, who wouldn't ever know about him? How? They're about to meet him. He's going there. Um, like wouldn't ever is like the future. He's not going to introduce himself, which is weird because later it's like Anon clearly wants to make friends. The problem lies in that exact sentence. What? He is stranded for an entire year in a city miles and miles away from his useful, blissful life of constant shitposting, and tomorrow he'll go to school not sure what to expect. And what is there? And is there anything to expect? I should probably emphasize that, man, because that's the point. So far, it's a little heavy, right? It's a little heavy, it's a little chunky monkey, but this is fine, you know. You know, if you're a starting writer, I'll give you a pat in the back. That's all right. You know, you get to the point, right? This is a little goofy, but it makes sense for a third person to, you know, kind of ham it up. Whoever this third person is, they don't like Anon very much. They're kind of giving him the slack. They're slapping him silly. But either way, he's here now. The last year of high school. The far away from home. Marvelous. You know, that's like a page. You might want to start getting to some points, maybe. The human stirred out of his sleep. I'd sooner say from his sleep. His eyes slowly opened up Oh, we're doing present tense. I don't like present tense with third-person narrator because it's really disjointing. Like, is the third... Are Garbo and Malloy just in the room? His eyes open... If we're going to Garbo and Malloy, I might as well do that. His eyes slowly open up and take in the violet light of the bus. And now everything collapses. I'm sorry. Rubbing his optics? I don't know what to... Listen, hold up. Let me tell you this. That's not even the right word, man. Oh, archaic humorous the eye. Ah! Trademark in the UK, a device fastened to the neck of an inverted bottle for measuring out spirits. So this is a joke? Why? Does this person not like Night in the Woods? Why would you write about it if you don't like it? Also, Night in the Woods is not overwritten. Night in the Woods is wordy, which is different. It's wordy because it's very much these characters' trains of thoughts. And this isn't that, is my problem. If you wrote Night in the Woods and you kind of hand that up, that'd be fine. This isn't any of that. This is very much a third thing. Rubbing his optics. Which, again, what a weird choice of words. He blinks a few times. Wow. Getting accustomed to the brightness. And looks around. Not a single person in sight. Wouldn't he already know that? Anna, you've been in this bus the whole time. We're now in 2077. Hell yeah, man. He's got robot eyes. His soul slowly sinks inside of his chest. There's a reason people say heart, because the metaphor works better. Pressed down by a tide of fear. Why is it so empty? You know, Google Docs loves complaining to me about contractions that don't, you know, it's like, no, you can't contract anything other than pronouns. Like, fuck you, Google. Did he take the wrong bus or something? How sleepy are you? No, it couldn't be. It was the only bus on that station that took him here. Why was it so damn empty here? You know, if that's Anon's thoughts, maybe you should make it clear, because why is your narrator swearing? Again, this is what I mean. Like, third-person narrators tend to be a bit more stoic, unless they have a personality, in which case they are a character. And the character is they don't like Anon. So why would they do this? Like, come on, if we're gonna smack Anon around with a narrator, at least smack him around properly. And don't use optics. Come on. Just pick a point of view. He turns his eyes to the driver's cabin. So, now we have... Why does that feel wrong? I don't know why. I think my brain's just getting mixed up on vehicles. Strangely enough, it's dark in here. It's always dark in buses and on. Especially at night, because they're not turning on the light unless you need it. You got... Just put on your own little light, man. Only a smudge of dashboard lighting. But he could notice something that looks like hands holding the wheel. And when his mind confirms the vision, for the third time he takes a deep breath. Good! He is not in some cheap and poorly written horror movie, and that's not a movie buff. Although we are in 2014, so... I don't know how to tell you this, man. I don't know how... Listen. I don't know how to tell you this. But we need to establish an important, and very important baseline. So... Hold up. There's something going wrong here. I need you to understand this. YouTube has been around for like 10 years. don't know what to tell you, man. 2014 is around the time that a large shift began to happen in YouTube, if I recall correctly. Broadcast Yourself era, and then comes Susan. What? Oh, that's a hell of a name, man. Anyway, Susan's showing up. The point is, this is like a ways away. We are in the past. Don't think we're in the present. Smartphones are around, but they've been around for like 6 years, and I don't know if they've caught on by this. I don't know, man. I'm not that up to date on this stuff, especially not when we're talking America. Objective dating sims where you date buildings. My dream home! That's a lighthouse. I haven't driven my... God damn it. What is this guy? God dang it. That's cute. That's kind of cute. Alright. What a weird way to introduce this. But alright, it's fine, right? It's fine. That was until he looked into the window. You look out the window. The window is not what you're looking at. It's just dark. And don't worry, it's about to get really, really goofy. There is no way to explain, to describe just how thick this darkness is. It's like they're time traveling or something. I love how abysmal that line is. Oh! There is no way to explain, and then as a sort of like, to describe just how thick this darkness is. What a shit line. What a garbage line. It's just dark. There's no way to explain. It's just dark. I guess. It's like I get it, right? Someone who's lived in cities a lot, how dark the countryside can be is a lot. But unless there's clouds, like the moon is pretty bright, for one. But two, you could try. Like, the purpose of writing is to describe things. Right? And if you're not doing that, you're doing it for horror. And you just poked fun at that idea, which is weird. Like, thematically, we're kind of all over the place. I don't know what you're going for. Feels like the time traveling. Don't worry. The writer will repeat this concept. And this concept. Don't worry. Or nobody cares enough about that town that he's headed into to actually place some light on the road. You mean streetlights. To maintain the streetlights. And honestly, this darkness is more just mysterious than horrifying. Listen, I love using the word just. It's kind of crept into my lexicon, but you've used just in like 3 sentences. You might want to ease it up there a little, buddy. Ease off the gas. There are others, like merely and only. Also, like, it's a mysterious darkness. Is the point that Anon is traveling through time? Is the point that he's actually traveling through time? Is the point that Anon is going somewhere that doesn't exist in space? That is just sort of in a pocket dimension? Because I feel like you could home in on that and describe Anon's stomach and the fear in his head and the slight twitches and the desire to leave the bus. Instead of this really disconnected and disinterested description. Honestly, the darkness is more mysterious than horrifying. What a disinterested sentence. Also, didn't you just say it's hard to describe how thick this darkness is? No, it's mysteriously thick, not horrifyingly thick. He doesn't feel scared staring into it. Maybe because it's too thick to be hostile. Oh no! That's... Sora, I think I know how we can fight the darkness. We just feed it enough bullshit that it just gets too fat to move. Like a fat apex predator that cannot stand up on its paws. Isn't the whole point of, like, overcoming grand darkness that it is so massive? You know, kind of like Cthulhu? Like, isn't the threat of something large that it doesn't need to move quickly to get you? Like, it'll just roll over and you're dead? Also, you're in a car. Couldn't you describe him as, like, you know, the feeling of being in a vehicle that's moving through the darkness? Because he's not sitting still. He's not in a house gazing outside at a darkness that encompasses him. He is moving through it. It feels like home, and the moment he got that comparison... Anon, where do you live that there's a fat apex predator made of darkness outside of your house? And the moment he caught that why did he catch it? Who's making it to him that he has to catch it? His mind immediately went back to half a day. Half a day? Jesus, we're making some time jumps here, buddy. Woof. Very ambitious. He packs his small belongings, not his big ones. The big stuff stays behind. Which, fair enough, but, like... Why are you being specific? His parents looking at him. His father tells him that his other stuff would be moved in the next few days. Oh god, this is what I mean, right? Also, shouldn't there be an and there? And tells him that this is his... Jesus, I hate that. I do use it too. It's necessary sometimes, but I hate this is his. Blech. Last chance at school! Oh no! And that he shouldn't have fucked up like he fucked up many times before, etc., etc. Cthulhu is not omnipotent. He just exists on a plane of existence where compared to us, he might as well be. I think is the point. Like, the idea behind Elder Gods is that they are really, really large. Real large. And it is their tremendous size and interdimensionality that makes them terrifying. And also, with things like Miko and stuff, they know more, or they operate on physics that don't quite make sense, but they're not necessarily omnipotent. Otherwise, you couldn't kick Cthulhu in the shins, you know? Like, you can push Cthulhu around a little bit. You can summon him, you know? Also, I don't think Cthulhu cares. I think part of the idea is these things are so large, they have plans and ideas that just exceed human perception. Like, what Cthulhu plans to do is decades of time. And it's like, oh, buddy, you want me to, like... It's like if I took a minute out of my day to give ants a sugar cube. It's like, to me, it's a minute. I don't give a shit. I got hundreds of minutes in my life. It's the same to Cthulhu. It's like, oh, you want me to, like, throw a city for, like, a couple of years? Sure, man. It's like my lunch break, I guess. That's part of the thing. It's like, it's beyond us. Also, Cthulhu isn't even the god. I would like to point out that Cthulhu is the emissary. He's the guy that shows up and goes, hey, buddy, you want to meet my boss? And he goes handshake and everything. If I recall correctly. One sentence he said reverberates inside Anon's skull! A bit too hard for him to ignore it. Why his skull? Army or college. Army or college, I don't care which. To get his mind off of things, Anon pulls out his phone and opens the browser. Tabs upon tabs of boards are open. Why are the... where's the point that he's opening those tabs? Ugh. A vast and vibrant selection of chats where people send images and revel in slurs they send one another. This time around, Anon decides to bait the obvious underage poster. Oh no, he's picked the wrong choice at the beginning of the game! The moment he's ready to post his meticulously written reply, his phone loses connection to the internet. You can find it on the inter... He tries to refresh the tab again and again, to no avail! The real horror is the connectivity. And I mean that. No bars at the top of the screen. Did they pass the last cell tower hill? Something! Pennsylvania is much more barren than he thought. Soon, however, the bars fill up again. Then I get what you're going for. But that's really overwritten for, like, what you're trying to establish is that he's out in the boonies, right? The size, when you say yes to the Eldritch God... Yeah... The visitor in Look Outside is a big boy. He's a very chunky monkey. And we don't even see all of him. If I recall correctly, we're cut off before we see everything. Because I guess our RAM is just full of seeing him. Anyway, a few taps and he's looking at the route from his hometown to Possum Springs. The hour representing him goes a bit too fast for his taste. Are they on the Autobahn, or is this road in particular? Or this road in particular does not have speed limits or radars, or just... What? Hold up. Like, I get what he's going for, like, it's the boonies, right? But what an overwritten way to establish that fact. Just mention that his connectivity falls out every once in a while, and it's really annoying. Like, establish how Anon feels about it. Like, this is a lot of sentences for that. He hides his phone as if it hide the embarrassment. From what? Like, I get what it's trying to establish, that Anon is used to internet working, but come on. Anon's a patient man. He baits people for a living. He knows the art of waiting. They are okay. Are they on an Autobahn? Oh, this road in particular does not have speed limits or radars or just cops waiting to start pursuit. What a horrible sentence. It's fine until here. And then it just forgets a verb and it falls apart. Either way, at this very quick pace... Why very quick? Just say it's a quick pace. You don't need very at this moment, or use a better word. At this swift pace. At this lightning pace. They'll be there in about 10 minutes. Impressive. Anyway. As he looks at the map of the small town, he thinks about all the schools he'd been to. Some of them were better, some of them were worse, some of them had people that shared adults' mind. Some of them didn't care about adults' existence, which is a pro, not a con. But there's one huge caveat to all of them. They all sucked. Wow. No matter how much better they compared to each other. Why is that one another? In reality, they all sucked. And he could only hope that this school would not suck. Yeah, you already established that Anon's looking for a place that meets his expectations right out of the gate. He doesn't want to work at anything. He doesn't want to work at making school experience better, which, like, again, the core point of original Anon is that he leaves after his apathy cannot save him. At least not suck harder than any other school he's been to. No one wants to enter 13 years and step into adulthood out of a bad school. Sorry, for some reason the soundtrack takes a little bit... Oh, this is straight up this, huh? You were sticking with Playground then. The music's so good, man. I hate that I talked over so much of it. Anon rests his head against the glass panel. It's not a panel, it's bigger than that. It's a fucking window, man. It's actually a bit chilly in here. What? Perhaps the driver decided that one person suffering from cold is nothing, so they decided to turn off the heating. Anon does not blame him. Is this even Anon if he doesn't blame the driver? He would have done the same in their seat. At least he got a warmer bomber jacket that his mom bought him, even if it came out of a second-hand store. At least it feels like it. It is better than his typical jacket that felt more like a button-up shirt. Like... It's so verbose, right? It's using so many words to say little bits. Just little bits. The cold glass spreads its frost through the bald human's cranium, freezing every thought in place. The concept of time is lost. We're time traveling again. Seconds become days, hours become minutes. He wants to sink back and sleep again, but he feels like it isn't needed because it'd be in Possum Spring any minute now. Yet phantom weariness takes over and he closes out for just a moment only to wake up at the station. Feels like someone is watching him. He grabs his belongings and rushes... Oh wait. Feeling like someone is watching him, he grabs his belongings and rushes out of the bus, entering the small building of Possum Springs' bus station. Taking a deep breath. Oh man. Whoops. He first checks himself out, then his stuff. He opens his backpack, then his small suitcase. Everything's where it belongs. He sighs in relief, then closes the suitcase and, grabbing it by the handle, stands up. I don't need to know that a man is holding a fucking suitcase by the handle. What a weird thing to feel the need to specify. The station is really empty. How can a place be really empty? Are you talking about the liminal feeling that, like, someone should be here, but they're not? Like... Anyway, the lights are on and a small TV is posted on the shelf, blasting at full volume. There are some seats. Don't get too cocky. There's only some seats. A vending machine to the left and a mural to the right. The mural depicts a man with a gun behind his back and amidst the landscape of Possum Springs, possibly one of the many colonizers of these lands. The train passes behind the statue and below is this line of text: Historic Possum Springs estimated. Oh no, wait, that's established. 1795. Man. Next to the mural is a payphone still intact and working. Anon considers calling home, but he understands that he has no cash to spend on... What do you mean he understands? He knows he has no money. You know what? I was gonna make a call, but I understand that I have no money. Instead, he spends his cash on... a drink from a vending machine. Oh, wow. I like how... Why is it a vending machine? You already established there's a vending machine. Just call it the vending machine. There's only one. The can he pulls... Why isn't it a can? A can he pulls out boasts the strange name, Fiascola. More like free-ass cola. Anon thinks to himself, smirking and drinking the drink to his own genius. It tastes different. You know, Scary Dave, you mentioned that. I'm gonna say this. This does feel like, in its source language, it's either just normal purple prose, or it's actually kind of good, but the translation is just a raw, and it's just awful as a result. Like, a lot of idiosyncrasies are not captured. It tastes different. That is to be expected, but it still weirds Anon out that he never had these where he's back from. Back where he's from. Almost makes him feel like this side of Pennsylvania is just a whole new state at this point. Either that or this is a local product and there's no way they're spending money, effort, and people to get it out of this zone. Out of the Eggman zone. Why bother if it's bought here plenty anyways? How big is Pennsylvania? I don't know, U.S. states. How big is Pennsylvania? Oh, it's that one. The one that's under New York. Right. That is where the rest towns would be, yes. It was founded in 1681. Before then, between 1638 and 1655, the southeast portion was, New Sweden, a Swedish colony? The Swedes were here? Terrifying. William Penn, a quacker and son of prominent admiral, founded the province of Pennsylvania in 1681. And I got papers. Sure did. He sure did. With the drink in hand and luggage wheeling behind him, he walks around an empty station. The TV Why is it a TV? There's one! I'm jokingly shifting around the fucking articles and you're... Showing two different animal people talking to one another. Again, what are you afraid of each other? A crocodile and a dog, Gobbo and Malloy, respectively. So, a thing in writing is you want to introduce concepts piecemeal, right? You want to start off with the TV players. If Anon knows these characters, he would first describe them as Garbo and Malloy. Then later, over the course of describing these characters further, you hint that they're a crocodile and a dog, right? Like, you want to... If something is obvious to a character, you don't want to do that. But otherwise, the fact that it's Garbo and Malloy, respectively, implies that Anon knows these characters already. Because we're using him as the anchor for the POV. He's not the POV specifically, but he is the anchor by which the narrator travels. Which, again, is really weird. Just make Anon the character... Just let Anon talk. News fixed with comedy. Fixed? What, like fixed like a picture? Like, I use a word like that sometimes. Like, the image is fixed. But, Or is it that the news is terrible and the comedy fixes it? Beneath the television is a reception desk. With a man sitting behind it, sleeping. Oh, man. It's so terribly empty here. There's a guy with a TV. His face is covered with a magazine. For a moment, Anon thinks about waking him up, but decides not to. Why are you putting this much emphasis on there? But if we're just going to skip past this, man. Also, isn't like half the point of the opening chapter to establish that the gender's kind of fucking weird? To the left of the television is a clock. Its hands are closer and closer. Anon has a smartphone. We don't need a fucking clock. And to the left of the clock, God, we're just scrolling down the left here, is a large board of bus schedules. Brush Valley, Fort Lucine, Stanton Town, Bright Harbor. Is that where Brightport comes from? How come Anon never heard of any of these places? It's because you fell asleep during geography class, man. Maybe because he was too busy collecting reads for replies that satiated his trolling nature. Just don't be so verbose with it, man. Don't be so specific. Just let it live on its own 2 feet. And nothing left to observe, but there is something right to observe. And so, the human leaves the building. The moment he steps his feet outside of the... What the fuck are you doing, man? The moment he steps his feet. I'm gonna big steppies. I'm big steppies guy. He suddenly hears a train whistle. He turns his eyes to the right. Ugh, I thought he could only look to the left after that last description, and notices a silhouette. Okay, but Okay, let me just put my hands together, right? He does not notice a silhouette of a giant factory. He notices the silhouette of a giant factory. The giant factory is not casting an arbitrary amount of silhouettes. It is the silhouette. Yes, the giant factory is vaguely defined, so it's a factory. But the silhouette of the factory is not affected by that. It is still the only silhouette it has. Ugh. No smoke comes from that giant brick. How does he know it's made of brick? He looks around a bit more to see no one, unless we're talking about the third-person narrator. If they're that omniscient, or they got a little telescope with them. To see no one! Not even a... I mean, no. If the narrator is omniscient, then he wouldn't be complaining about the darkness being too difficult to describe. You're cutting halfsies with that. He looks around a bit more to see no one! Not even a single car passing... You're at a bus station in the outskirts, Anon. There are no cars here this late, at 11 p.m. Anon reckons it's better than to have someone stop and talk to him. Who the fuck is talking to a random teenager at 11 p.m. at a bus station? Being all by himself is a bit better than having to talk to strangers, especially right now. So, yes, you just established it. Anon reckons it's better than having someone stop and talk to him. That's what this sentence does, man. Man, this needs a rewrite. Like, just strip the wallpaper down. The street lamp he stands beneath. Okay, here's a big problem I have. Right, this is Anon. This is Safi has a big fucking moment, right? Why are we describing Anon standing beneath the street lamp instead of Anon looking at the street lamp above? The problem I have is that the camera is shoved up Anon's ass the whole damn way. Right? It is just reading this man's mind as he goes. Shouldn't we stick to Anon's point of view and describe the thing that is above him from his perspective? He is not beneath the light. Anon would look up and see the light above him. It's a really weird and pedantic thing, but it's trying to cut it both ways in a really awkward sense. The road he sees would take him into the city, and so mentally prepared for nothing. I'm not mentally prepared for nothing. He begins to making his way there. He walks by the side. Again, this is why having this all be in present tense is really weird, right? It just doesn't flow well. Because it's nobody's train of thought. Who's thinking? And why are they bound by time? Even though it's so empty, a protest could be held without a What do you mean? Is that a phrase? Like, again, if it's from another language, this could just be a manner of speech. A protest could be held here without a problem. Is that something Anon thinks about a lot? Is that immediately relevant? It is the factory with the shade and the stranger, and I'm not sure. Going to steal and or kill Anon. Some of the fireflies. You cannot shorten fireflies to just flies. Some of the fireflies follow him, but soon dissipate in nothingness, amplifying the already vivid feeling of abandonment. How the fuck do they do that? They're fireflies. They are corporeal. They turn their flickers off and vanish. They vanish into nothingness, not dissipate. Dissipate implies you're shrinking in size. They are evaporating. But they vanish because they are invisible, because their lights turn off. Minutes pass by him. Yes, I get it. Time is moving, man. Jesus. By the way, Chapter 2 is extremely bad about this. Sometimes wind comes in, making the human shiver. And other times, at this pace, it takes him ages to get into the city. But it is better than running. There'd be energy for him to spend in case of it. What is going on in Anon's mind that he's walking down a fucking road near a town and he's like, man, I'm gonna be attacked by an animal. I better take it slowly. I better slow down and conserve my energy. Actually, are there wild animals here? Considering he saw a talking humanoid dog on the TV, it begs the question, would a dog have a pet cat, or would that be silver-lined racism? The thought humors him. So, did Anon cross into another dimension? Or, like, are they normal? Because you can't just put Anon in a world of fucking furries, right? And not, like... What are you doing with this lie, man? Are furries just people in the world, as Night in the Woods treats them? And if not, what a weird detail. You're never going to talk about that either. We know that. You're Night in the Woods. You're not going to focus on that. But hey, his phone is the only source of light here. He's in the dark again. Oh no. Wasn't he walking under street lamps a minute ago? He eventually got tired of looking through the image board and looks around himself. He is far away from the bus station, the only source of safety. Listen, when I talk about the new verse and I mention a moon, right? That makes sense because in the new verse there are multiple moons. I'm going to assume this is normal Earth because we have Pansylvania. Who the fuck says a moon? In what language do you describe Earth's moon, the only moon we have, as a moon? And what do you mean it's hosted? Shining upon... Also, if the fucking moon is this bright, why didn't he see anything? It looks like the moon is impaled on them, on it. On the tip. It is the tip. It is impaled on it. Like a basketball. I would describe the moon as a bowling ball, if anything. Not a basketball. So, you know, it's a solid object. Oh my god. It's so frustrating. Suddenly, he receives a notification. He's got 10% battery now. So, fun fact, I get it right. The notification is that his battery is low. But this, my brain goes, oh, he got a text from someone? No. Better savor it. How fucking far is he from the city? He hides his phone and continues. Like, he just did the road trip calculation of how far the bus would take him. Why doesn't he know how long this walk is going to take? Like, why can't you tell us how long it will take him to walk there? He can see the city, right? Listening to the sounds around him. Also, you could have fucking mentioned the trees earlier, man. Yeah, you should have mentioned these trees a little earlier, man. Okay. He hides his phone and continues walking, listening to the sounds around him. The only sounds. Why don't you describe him as listening for sound around him to imply that he's being cautious, and then you go with the only sounds that he does hear are his own breathing and footsteps. Also, fun fact, I don't think you would hear your own footsteps if you're at night in the middle of the woods. I don't know what to tell you, man, but, like, hearing your own breathing requires a severe degree of quiet. Unless he's panting, and I can imagine him panting from a small fucking walk because he's head on. The eeriness and loneliness remind him of that broken, mysterious record from that one blocky mining and Anon does not play Minecraft. Anon does not play Minecraft. He does not. At most, right? At most, he knows about Minecraft because he knows about the disc because he bullied someone about it once. Minecraft is 2011, man. It's been around for 3 years. Oh no, the first release was 2011. The first public alpha was 2009. I don't think Anon would be a Minecrafter. I think he's too much of a, you know. This is Night in the Woods, but Snoop. But the way I understand it so far is Anon gets shipped with Beatrice. Oh my god. And that's it. Like, Anon is just around. He does not replace a character. He is just full bore inserted into the story. How weird is that? Anyway. It was funny seeing people see that he brought havoc to their theory crafting discussions. Now, you might notice that in the original game, right, God, there's so much to say about the introductionary scene of Night in the Woods, and its heavy fixation on, like, tutorializing and establishing May as a bit... God damn it. It's doing a lot of lifting, man. He continues walking. 10 minutes had passed, or was it 20, or 15? Who cares? It doesn't fucking matter, author! This precise time is irrelevant. The sense of time is lost here in the impenetrable darkness. He can see the moon! He sees not only the moon, but the treetops, and a silhouette of a factory in the distance. This is not impenetrable darkness! His eyes have become accustomed to it already, but even the light coming from the moon is barely enough to see anything. So is it... What? He cannot see where the road ends and where the trees start. Or where the forest ends and the sky starts. Listen, the light on your phone does not take that much energy compared to your fucking phone, man. Just turn it on. Oh, it is just... And this is where I lost my mind. It's just so dark out here. Man, it's just so dark. Listen, right? You talk about this mysterious but not horrific darkness, this impenetrable darkness, this impossible darkness, and you can't just go, it's just so dark out here. God damn. Hold up, it gets really bad. It's just dark. Like, is the darkness a serious component or not? Come on! This isn't advanced darkness, right? This is store-bought, not brand-name darkness. It's just really soupy and thick. So dark, in fact, that seeing the lights approach him from afar freezes him. How is it impenetrable darkness if he can see lights in the distance? This is it. The consequences for everything good and bad you have done coming in hours. If he's surrounded by trees, can't he duck into the tree line? He stands still, hearing the roar of an engine close in on him. Better be quick. Better make it painless. So, Anon, you're in, like, at most a two-street road, right? Right, like, two lanes, and you're meant to drive pretty quickly, and you're walking down this. For some reason, the bus station is out of town by, like, a country mile. And you can't get out of the way? Like, these have guardrails often, Anon. And like, you can go to the other lane? Goddamn. He's not trying, is he? Jesus. Like, I like it, though. It really makes him a quitter. Like, not only does he quit the second anything bad happens in school, the second a car approaches him, he's like, I'm dead. I'm not gonna live. I'm already dead. Stepping out of the way of a car is impossible. Like, if the implication is that this car shows up out of nowhere and Anon doesn't have time to respond, you're not establishing any of that. The car stops close to him and the driver's side door opens. It'd be very weird if the passenger side door opened. Would it? That depends on how many people are inside of it, but we know that it's Molly, because we know it's Night in the Woods, because we know the fucking origin story. The light is coming from the salon? The salon. The salon? Reception room is locked. So this is probably a clue, right? This is probably a clue on what the source language is. Because the interior of the car, I've never heard referred to as, the salon. Looking for something. Let's see, maybe Wiktionary can help me here, because they usually have, like, a bunch more goofy-ass definitions. Let's see. A large room, especially to entertain guests, a gathering for social intellectual meeting, an art gallery, exhibition, or a beauty salon or similar establishment. There are a lot of people that use the word salon, but very few, but none of them use it for, like, car interiors. What is LTG speech? The saloon. Anon, what are you doing in the saloon? I like to consider myself a rootin' tootin' cowboy out here in this car saloon. The light coming from the saloon outlines the fat silhouette. Now it's the? Yeah. It's a place where you sit or where you get your hair cut. The hair salon. It's not any silhouette, it's one of a cop. How the fuck can you identify a police officer by their silhouette? Is it the gun holster? Because that's a good way to start. Describe the gun holster. Let us draw that conclusion. If the point, right, is to make us afraid, you describe this character stepping out as large, as imposing, then you describe the gun, and then you're like, oh shit, is this someone who's going to hurt Anon? But instead you just go, it's a fat person, and they're a cop. And it's like, you've completely diffused the situation. Anon is a teenager. We're not going to assume that this cop is just going to kill Anon at this moment. Unless you're trying to set that up, but you haven't even made this work. Anon's worried about animals, if anything. He doesn't like people, but he's worried about animals. So he hasn't even mentioned serial killers. Like, we're not primed for this at all. Stranded. The cop asks, with a female voice. Yeah? Anon replies, uncertain. You need a left. It is such a simple question, has no answer from the human. It's a cop. The one thing supposed to protect innocent people. Anon is American. He knows better than that. I mean, it's 2014, so a little before that really started taking off. But at this point, someone like Anon should really be skeptical of the law enforcement. I'm just saying, man. Especially small-town cops in the middle of nowhere. Those are horror movies, man. But how can Anon be so sure this actually is a cop? So we're down the authenticity of the person? I mean, that's fair, but, like, you've already... If your point is to keep it ambiguous if this is a cop, you don't describe a cop. You'd say it's a silhouette with a gun. And then you describe the cap, and then you can go, oh, it's probably a cop, right? And then Anon goes, but are they? And then it works. You've already dismantled your argument. What are you doing? Is the darkness impenetrable or not? Does my penis fit? Did you bite your tongue or something? The cop asks. No, I just, So, again, Molly doesn't work in literary sense because you're introducing a character that, unless you intend to use her again, is Anon just going to go through the plot? Because the plot in Night in the Woods happens way down the line. Seriously, what is LT... Hold on, I'm looking this up. Urban Dictionary. If they can help me. Learn to Google. Lost the game. Lesbian until graduation. Love that guy. Long-term girlfriend. Lit tough guy. Looking to get stuffed. Living the gimmick. Low-tier god syndrome. Is a very common occurrence of the FGC. A melanin man who cannot cook for the life of him? What? Oh, it's racist stuff. I like that Urban Dictionary tries to sell me mugs. FGC, the fighting game community. Fat goth chick. Man, what is up with these words? Low tier god. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that. Sorry. Let's see. Maybe I can figure it out by reading the description. Abbreviation for lower tier god. Power says destroy you, he will, with few words. Yes. That's adorable. Jesus Christ. Why is this fucking description so god-awful? Very common occurrence in the FGC. It's the act of calling a better player than you worse, even though you lost to him. Okay. Yeah, but I already went on my rant about, like, how we'll never get a sequel to this game, even though I don't think a sequel is really possible, considering what the game's ultimately about. Any sequel for this game. You know, Out of My Volcano High ends ambiguously. There's a similar kind of ambiguity to Night in the Woods. Like, is the god real? Did the sacrifice do something? And I kind of like that you don't know and you shouldn't know. Unlike... Yeah. Yeah, I know. A whole bunch of people... It sucks ass, man. Part of me would believe that Anon would play Mortal Kombat 9 if this is truly set in 2014. Would it be any good, though? Would he suddenly beat that guy at the arcade? Anyway. Just Anon tries to muster up a response. If I was some maniac, I wouldn't be standing here chatting to you. I get in. With the pace you're walking, and take the second coming of Christ to get you into the city. That's a nice sentence. What a nice sentence! The city! Anon repeats. Then he thinks, what do you... He's already thinking, man. Then she must be from the town. Why not Possum Springs? Just say she's from Possum Springs. He draws an inner sigh of relief. Anon does that a lot, by the way. But what about the logic? Toss it in back? Shouldn't the cop be like, why are you asking me this, you fucking moron? I have a trunk and a back seat. before taking a seat behind the wheel. I like how she gets behind the wheel. She doesn't help him with it or anything. She's just like, that's a kid. You're old enough. Anon walks to the back passenger door, opens it, and puts his backpack and suitcase inside. Then he walks around the car and takes the shotgun seat. I always wonder why it's called the shotgun seat. And, like, maybe that's where they put the shotgun. Maybe that's where the term comes from. So I'm going to look that up, because I'm curious. The phrase takes back to the Old West, although no one actually called it shotgun back then. Carriage drivers would often bring along someone next to them to carry a weapon, usually a shotgun. These co-pilots acted as bodyguards and ward off any robbers or miscreants that got in the way. Nice! Yes! If you don't fuck it up like Goodbye Volcano High, where I don't give a shit. I think Goodbye Volcano High should have just stuck the landing. I get that the story is about what do you do when the world's about to end, regardless of the outcome, but it doesn't handle it in a way where that matters. And I'm just like, just commit to the bit, man. Either way, like, either tell me or don't. Okay, the cop, who turns out to be a cat. Couldn't you describe the little cat ears? Under the hat or something? Come on. Turns the car around and pushes the gas pedal. I would be very surprised if she pushed the fucking brakes. Also, how did she turn the car around without hitting gas? Isn't that how reverse works? Is you put it in reverse and then you hit the gas. There's not like a reverse pedal, right? Ugh, I don't know how to drive. Not many people come here nowadays. The cop says... You know, I've always criticized that people tend to go a little fancy with their verbiage. And hey, fuck it. This guy's actually doing that. I don't know if he's intentionally doing it or if he just doesn't know any good words for talking, but... Is that so? Yeah. Most of them are going out instead of in. I wouldn't say instead. I would say in place of. I don't know. It's like a really weird way to phrase that. I understand why. Places like Fort Lucine compared to this, well, they're better anyway. This place, it's the outskirts. Which begs the question. She turns her cat eyes because it turns out to be a cat. To him. What brings you here, kitty? Kid? A school change. A school change? That's a reason I didn't think to hear. What happened to you in your previous school? Anon does not reply, opting to look into the passing darkness. Is the darkness a fucking character at this point? Just slap him on the ass, darkness. You might as well marry him. One thing he could never do is tell the cops anything, and yet he trusts a cop. Just 10 fucking seconds ago, he's like the one thing that's supposed to protect innocent people. Like, I can't tell a cop anything! Especially about his past regrets. His past regrets, what do they have to do with the fucking law enforcement? You're a teenager, and as far as we know, you've committed no crimes. Unless that's his changed backstory. Which I'm all for, but she'd hint at that a little earlier. Like, start off with the changes so that I know what to look forward to. The way reverse works is you put the number thing on the prindle, and then simply allow the clutch to go back, making the car... Oh, man. I don't think people understand what the prindle is. Listen, if you call that thing anything other than a prindle, you can get out of my stream right now. We stan Mr. Mosby trying his best. Oh. Well, if it's personal, I'm pushing you to talk. The cop retorts. That's so harsh. There's no interrogation anyway. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Molly. Anon. Anon? That's a weird name. I didn't have a saying what I was called. What do you mean should be called? Don't you mean what he is called? It's cool. Stands out. Anyway, pleasure to meet you. Isn't she, as like the cop in town, shouldn't she try to establish rapport with the guy moving into town? Especially a small town? Like, I feel like she should be doing a little more. Like, she knows May, which is why she doesn't do much with May, but with Anon, she should be trying to do something. God, I'm almost tempted to write this one myself, but I don't want to. Because I want to do a crossover, but I have no ideas on which to use. On a side note, Anon things, this cops is actually pretty cool. Also, if you're okay, listen. Okay. If you're quoting someone's thoughts, that's still technically a quote. You're still supposed to use quote marks, and there's a reason why most people use singles and for thoughts and doubles for text, for written or spoken language. Who knew my first time talking to a cop would be great? You just said you trust cops, and then you said that you wouldn't tell the cops anything. What are you, Anon? You actually remind me of someone. Who? There was this human guy who lived here years ago. Had a silver bird wife. I was there during their wedding, calling for security. Why was there security? They were the best pair for each other. I would love it if the security is supposed to be like a subtle hint about the racism, which there is. It's a nice way to subtly hint at it. But I can't trust this author. He overwrites and underexplains. He doesn't commit. Really? Yeah, they had a kid. I swear to God, I can see those amber eyes everywhere I go. Why? Is Amber haunting you in your dreams? What happened to him? They just moved out of here. Some people say they moved to California. It's most of the scalies will say. Why? He had a bird wife. Birds have feathers. Birds are... I see. Where are you from, by the way? I'm from the state. Figured as much. What about the city? It's down south. You just don't want to tell me, do you? I get it. It's no need to talk. It's all right. He trusts, but he doesn't tell. Soon the human sees the light. Praise Jesus! The new pope is chosen. And then the darkness that seemed to never end was abruptly replaced by the scape. The scape? RuneScape? Is that even a word? Can you just say escape? Denoting a specified type of scene. Huh. Oh no, that's a suffix. You can't use it on its own, as far as I can tell. See if Wiktionary's anything, because Wiktionary's often very smart about this stuff. Escape means of evasion. To escape. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't seem to relate to bullshit words. Great. That's how you know, Scary Dave, that we got ourselves a good one. And this is it, Molly says with a certain relief in her voice. Anon watches the streets roll by, buildings with few lights in them, and he feels right at home for some reason. He feels strangely at ease. Yes, that's what it means when you feel at home. Seeing those buildings in the streets, even though he has never seen them before. Perhaps it's the effect of the outskirts. You're in the town, that's not the outskirts. Or because he wasn't in a city for some time. Then where did he live? But that's simply... What? What are you saying? The car comes to a halt near the curb. The curb is assumed to exist everywhere in a city, so it's the curb. Ugh. Especially small towns. They're very walkable, comparatively. I reckon I better take you to your home immediately. Molly says and turns her eyes to the human. You know where you live? Why wouldn't he? Yeah, let me find it. Anon pulls out his phone, opens the note app, and finds the address and taps on it, bringing the map up. He turns his phone to the cop, who looks at the map for a few seconds until a spark of recognition lights up in the slits of her pupils. Her pupils are slits, you fucking moron! Like, the pupil is the slit! Ugh! I know why that is. We'll get there in no time. While the cop takes him to his new home, Anon returns his vision to the passing streets. What exactly made him feel so peaceful? The fact that he's far away from everyone he knew. That is a reason, but not the... Oh, so you are aware of how articles work. A part, but not the whole point. Then perhaps it's because it feels so alive compared to... What do you mean alive? It's late at night in a small town. Shit's quiet. And he came from a big... Big cities aren't quiet during... Jesus. The smaller cities would always feel more alive because there was much more room for corporations. Because there's not much room for What? The smaller cities would always feel more alive because there's not much room for corporations to take that life from. The opportunity to live there for a whole year could be... So, is Anon fucking, like... I don't know, man. It feels like it wants to say something, but it doesn't say it. It's like it dancing around trying to make a political statement. But all these reasons are just side points. So what is the main point? What's the main reason why he feels like he'd enjoy spending time here? Anon doesn't know. Maybe he shouldn't. It's like an optical illusion or a joke. The magic falls apart when it's explained. What? Anon's just happy to be in town. He thought he was lost in the woods, man. Perhaps it's better to be oblivious and blissful at times. Jesus Christ, are we talking about Cthulian logic right now? And here we are. Molly says as the car comes to a stop looking at a particular building. Towny center. Place where everything congests. You mean congeals. Well, congest implies that the problem is traffic. And it's like night. She turns her cat eyes to him because she's a cat. Need some help moving your stuff? She says with a cop mouth because she's a cop. Also, shouldn't there be quotation marks closing this quote? No, I'm good on my own. Thank you. Anon says, opening the car door. You're welcome, kid. Oh. And also, Anon stops and looks at her, smiling like a mother at him. Shouldn't that comma just be gone if it's just one? Welcome to Possum Street. Why is she smiling at him like that? That's so creepy. Remember that, like, the cult that sacrificed kids, right? Mostly sacrificed kids that wouldn't be missed? Isn't Anon, like, the perfect sacrifice victim? That'd be cute. That'd be cute. That's why they got rid of Casey. He nods and closes the shotgun seat door. He takes his luggage from the car and watches the cop makes her leave. He notices her waving him goodbye. Why is she so nice? And then goes in the woods and gets undertailed. I mean, that'd be cute. Listen, I thought about doing that Undertale stuff, but then I realized that I could only do it as, like, a joke. I don't think Anon would work in that. How would I make Anon care, right? Anon wouldn't fight either, because he's a big fat wuss. I don't need thoughts like these right now. The cold catches up and forces Anon to move inside the building. Enters a small hall. There's a lift with an array of buttons on the left and a door leading to a stairwell on the right. First, he checks out the elevator. The buttons all have names written beside them. So it's not based on floors, but rather the apartment themselves. Anon thinks, why are you using hyphens? Weird. Never seen that before. But that must mean that the apartments are fucking huge. So that's a pro. With that, he makes his way to the stairwell. Concrete everywhere. Why would they be made of concrete? You're in a brick building. It makes him feel like he's taking the staircase in a prison rather than a small apartment complex. Wasn't this built like in the 1900s? Why is it made of concrete? He makes his way up to the third floor and leaves the staircase. The only door there is the door to his apartment. His apartment. Hearing it reverberate inside of his head, amplified by a feeling of pride and accomplishment. Makes him feel a bit queasy. It's his place, his and his only. Even if his parents paid for rent, even if he's here for a year, this is his apartment. And he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. Anon be doing a passive-aggressive pacifist route. Oh my god, Anon, please shut up. The monsters think you're a loser. Like, Tori will be like, Anon, Jesus, what is wrong with you? Come on. Like, I'm trying to teach you to not fight, you know, try and talk things out, but come on. Stop hiding in the corner. Get off the bookshelf. And she, like, swings like one of those big feather dusters at him. Like, get down. Oh. It's kill or be killed. Oh, that's so original. Where'd you get that one? The slogan store? Oh my god. Oh, it's kill or be killed. Oh, I'm a flower. I think I know everything. Oh. Like, Flower would have all the air knocked out of him having to talk to someone who's a big sassy bastard. It's like, man, I prepared the speech for years. Shut up. Why does... Okay, hold up. There's one big problem, right? Anon... Why would Anon have the determination necessary to override Flowey? Because the big story is that Flowey has access to determination and is in control of the timeline and is actively controlling it. Why does Anon stop that from happening? He's a loser. He doesn't have the determination. Like, the whole idea is that it mechanicizes the opposite, Safi. It turns diegetic, the idea of the player having reloads and access to the game as much as they want. That's what determination is, to an extent. And that's what Azrael, to an extent, represents, is getting disillusioned with the game because you want everything. And not letting a story exist in its own terms. But whatever, we're not here to talk about Undertale. Anyway. He finds the key in his pocket and opens... Why wouldn't he be fiddling with his key earlier? Come on. The apartment welcomes him with silence and warmth. It's been silent for a while, man. He takes off his backpack, then jacket and shoes, and then... Why can't you just say that he takes off his shit? A tide of awe and excitement covers him whole. Blech. So slimy. Even though this place is rather empty and his stuff would only arrive by the weekend, he cannot believe that he's going to have it all by himself. Perhaps it isn't as bad as it sounded. The apartment is rather huge. A big living room, a big kitchen, a big room. All of it's big. Made even bigger by... I like that he can afford it because this is like a shit rust town in the middle of nowhere. It's like... Shit's like $20. Because no one lives here. After checking the first two rooms, he steps into his own room. An empty table and wardrobe and a bed and a window outside with curtains. Why is the window outside of the house? The window is the wall, and therefore inside... Oh, God damn it, what the fuck are you doing? Or are the curtains outside? That doesn't make any sense either. He checks the time. Better get moving and get all of his stuff out of his suitcase. He moves his luggage into the room and gets to sorting. Everything finds its place on the shelves and the wardrobe, on the table. It takes about 10 minutes, and in the end, he puts his phone on charge. Wow. Riveting reading. No emotion. He doesn't feel anything. He just does it. The wariness takes hold of him again. Not bothered to turn off the light, he steps to the empty bed and falls onto the mattress. It's soft and clean. Definitely cared about before he arrived. He only has enough energy to turn his head to the side and look out the window. Remember, the window is outside. This is gonna be fun. He thinks before he closes his eyes and falls asleep. Why does he think it's gonna be fun? I don't know. So comments. Yeah, I like how this guy's like, hey, is this just gonna be a romance, or are we gonna go into the mystery horror side of Night in the Woods? So I think I'm gonna take a break because I need to clear my head because we're doing chapter 2 too, and like I said, the chapters. Man. Anyway, up next is the chapter School Cycles. Doesn't he go to school in this? Oh my god, 11 chapters. It's 5,000 per chapter ish, but my god, ugh. See you guys in like a couple of minutes. I'm gonna go and fucking clear my head and reverberate my chakras so that I don't go nuts. Also, this is really bad on my voice. I've been throwing it around, abusing it with a big fat stick. What is this? Babe, wake up. They're transvestigating the new pope. Let's fucking go. New pope. Pope Leo the 14th, the first ever American pope with a bio-female skull. Holy shit. What? 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 I think he's just old, man. Damn. Doing those. Brr, brr, brr. It's underbass falling down. It's hilarious. Such a nice song. Such a nice little song. And then they put the little put the little undertones in there for the boys in the back who want it. Anyway, I think that's the song that you play when Anon gets found. It's just fucking stupid. All right, enough of that. Enough of that. I've had enough. So we're gonna do chapter 2, cycles. In the meantime, we're gonna go pa 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 pa. Oh no, what's this? What's this? That's right, draw the trans. This boy. Oh no! Oh no. Ugh. So yeah. Go when you feel like it. What was that? Why is my phone going dingle dangle? Well, we'll start in a bit. I need to clear my head and think about those beans. I have no plans, by the way, of I have no plans to do the other chapters of this right now. This is just like one chapter because I feel like it. 2 chapters because I needed to get this off me. Just okay. Now we gotta find a new sound thwack to work with. These songs are 7-minute long? Oh, they have to be because you are like hanging around town a whole bunch. You gotta make them last. It's worth remembering, again, we are like several years before the actual events of the game. I think it's on time, because 2000... I think we are technically on time, because I think the game is 2017 because it's its own year and all that stuff, and like, May graduates and goes to college for a little while, I think a year or so, and then comes back, so... Anyway, September 21st. Well, let's just do Anon's voice, because I don't want to be grandiose about this, and it's obvious that Anon wants to be the narrator. September 1st, 7 a.m. An alarm blares into the silence. What do you mean it blares into the silence? It destroys the silence by its nature of being sound, cutting it into a million pieces. That's... What a weird... Like, alarms are often described as blunt and visceral, not as cutting implements. It smashes it into a million pieces. Takes a minute or two for me to wake up, recognize the sound, turn it off. I'm not leaving my bed just yet. Stare at the ceiling for another minute. I don't even know where I am. Though eventually, what remains of my wheel wins out, pushing me up, because I know I can't stick around forever. I'm paraphrasing this with, like, Anon's inner monologue, because one, it wants to, so bad. First things first, I gotta hit the bathroom. Take a leak, wash my face, too much sleep left in my eyes, then rub it dry with a towel. Well, there I am. Yeah, that's... That's me, alright. It's hard to think, in a weird way. I'm just the man in the mirror. Just enough brain power to help me understand that I'm looking at a reflection. Jesus. Alright, kitchen time. Let's see. Breakfast. Well, I don't have anything to eat. After all, I didn't even have time to buy anything. No cheap cereal, not a cookie to munch on. I guess it's my fault for leaving so early in the evening with nothing in my baggage for this. My parents did warn me this would be a problem. Well, I guess it's my fault. I'm the big idiot. Let's see. I can either take the hunger with me to school, see if I can find some place along the way and spend my limited budget on overpriced coffee. Ugh. Either way, probably not going to get any breakfast in my home on the first day. Okay, so for some reason, we are very acutely aware of the time, and I don't know why we're doing this. Let's see, 7:06 a.m. That gives me about, what, 40 minutes? About half an hour. Trip there would take 20 minutes. I need a little bit of time. Okay. So, like, your school starts before... I mean, yeah, actually, I have that. So empty in here. The vantage point from this stupid dining table is hardly encouraging. I feel poorer than I did before. Parents would send everything over in the weekend, but until then, it's just gonna be figuring out what the hell can fill this space. What do you mean his peaceful life is shitposting? He was shitposting just fine on his phone. I guess we are in 2014. You can tell because Night in the Woods barely does phone shit. Minutes go by. Really is nothing to do in here, especially with my phone on the charger all the way over there. The absence of clocks makes it feel like the world's just been paused by God. Or, well, whoever's up there. Well, there is a God guiding stuff. How the hell did I end up here? Listen, I don't have any issues with this town as far as I can tell. But, what exactly made my parents think that Deep Hollow County was a good idea? I'm dozens of miles from home. Yeah, this would fit Anon just fine. A match made in heaven. Talk to God about it and everything. The mute question has, what does that mean? Just dangles into space inside of his cranium before he What are you doing, man? My useless question has no answer. Just hangs around in my head until, well, I get up and get dressed. I like how he's just sitting there in the nude. Because didn't he shower? And on your team, please shower. No, he's just washing his face. He could be in any state of undress. Ew! Socks. Why are you describing this? Just putting on the usual bod in bulk, except for the jacket. Mom bought me this a few days before. You already mentioned this. You don't have to repeat it. She heard from a friend and a friend that moving a few miles north, especially further inland, is like living in Alaska. Well, at least it fits. It should keep out the cold a bit better than that piece of cloth I used to wear. Why did I wear a jacket again? Oh yeah, because I look like a fucking lanklet under all of this. You know, for second hand, it's pretty good. This jacket, not the old one. Let's see, 7:15. Why do we care? I guess I'll pick something up on the way to school. Something I can munch on the way. Well, phone in hand, in my pocket, bag on my back, shoes on. Well, there I am, in the mirror. The window of my apartment. Okay. Why? Who is calling him rather sexy? Anon does not think of himself as handsome at all. What are you doing? Why is the narrator using the term lanklet? I guess it's because Anon... Like, again, the author so badly wants to just have Anon be the POV. It's just disgusting. Be honest with yourself and commit to the bit, man. Leaving the apartment. Door locked. I guess I'll use the elevator... no. I guess I'll use the elevator today. Lock the door. Actually, I can't lock the door in the elevator. I guess people just can't access my floor or something. Push the button. There we go. Why does this author love mentioning that there's silence? I mean, I guess that's the point. It's like, but it's morning in this city! He should hear his neighbors and stuff. Why is there a hall between your house and the apartment? The implication was that, like, with that other guy, like, whatever. Cables are creaking. The curtains, what? I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do here. It's a small hall between my apartment and the elevator. I don't know why I'm describing this. I hope it's a plot point later, otherwise you might as well not have bothered. The doors open with a creak, making it more than obvious that despite my room having that sense of love, everything else is bad. What's this? By the way, Snoot Sona Encore announced that they are going back to Renpai because it's easier to use than Godot, which is exactly the same what they said when they went from Renpai to Godot. Congrats, 3 months down the... Oh my god. You know, at least unlike a Bivolcano High, they didn't stick with an engine that fucking sucks, right? At least they're cognizant of the problems. But my god, what's going on? What is happening? Why is Anon being called sexy? Who is calling him sexy? Anon doesn't think of himself as sexy. If he's gonna gas himself up, do it more. Do it when he was washing his face. Why does he have this completely secondary... The cabin's in motion. It's not dirty, just old. No what? Organic you mean no one took a shit in the elevator? For some reason I thought someone would take a shit in the elevator around here and no one would actually clean it up. Just like it... Where do you live? That this is a problem. Well, that does beg the question, who does live here? All the names I saw on that panel full of buttons on the first floor. Are they real? You know, just fakes. To make it look like someone lives here. After all my neighbors have been pretty quiet so far. Well, I'll go outside eventually. There it is, Possum Springs, slowly waking up. It really does have that picturesque quality. Cold wind, green leaves, pale sun, distant mountains. It does mean it's gonna be dark a little later than usual. Gonna be light a little later than usual, and dark earlier than I expected. You can still see the factory from here too. It's like a whole new world, no matter how cliche it sounds. Well, I'm not the type, but I think I'll get a shot. Mom and Dad will like it, right? Well, the town... You just said the town was waking up, and now it's already woken up? Which one is it? Well, it's not quite the way a city woke up. Again, this weird contrast to the city, but it keeps talking about, like, Anon, like he doesn't live in this... It's so weird! The city, like the one he came from, will be hustling and bustling, but... Wait. The city's already woken up. Not like a... Well, the town's already woken up. Not like a city wakes up. We're useless Anon instead. We're finishing chapter 2, and then we'll decide if we're going to do something else. Like, what is your problem, Senator? Don't you enjoy this riveting writing that's taking forever to get anywhere? Yeah, this is why I read Snoot Game and Night in the Woods, is May's avid descriptions of her fucking apartment. There's nothing in my apartment. Man, how exciting. It's exciting because May lives in the attic. It's a weird place to live, and there's all these... Jesus Christ, it's like this author doesn't get what writing is. Oh my god. Oh, it hurts. It's ultraviolet prose. It's purple prose without a point. Oh. I already gotta take a piss. All the vinegar. Scary Dave's gonna pull us out of the gutter with his links. Truly the all-American hero we don't deserve. The town's already waking up, but not in the way I'm used to. And the city I used to be in, well, it was always hustle and bustle. The second anything woke up. It sounded like stories from his... What are you talking about? The stories like the one he came from would be hustling and bustling. It would sound like the stories of his parents. He lives there! Why are the stories of his parents being used for comparison? Oh my god, I'm losing my fucking mind! What are you trying to say? Just say it! Onto millions of people and hundreds of thousands of cars, all treading the street in their own lane and producing sound so deafening it might hurt the... If the sound is deafening, by definition, it's probably hurting your fucking eardrums, my man. Oh my god, are you stupid? Do you not know how human ears work? Oh my god, it's so alien. Like translation? Maybe, but what a translation. Sounds more like how I wake up. Nice and slow. The eyes are open, but it's taking its sweet-ass time actually doing something. You know, like how I know I gotta wake up, but fuck, I'm no soldier. I take my time. I stretch a little, toss a little, look at my phone when it's available, and then I submit my feet to the cold flooring. Ugh. This kind of wake-up is such a breather from all the hustle. Just enough room for me and my thoughts. The connection, the respect for every living being. It does come at a cost. A town like Possum Springs, in order to stay this quiet, can't exactly change much. You know, rebuild things, new factories. All those things would be too noisy, no one would be interested. What was the last big change around here? Probably so long, even the people who've lived there since their youths don't even remember. Oh no, you'd say the elders who've lived there since their youth. Taking a turn, he remembers yesterday. I remember that giant factory in the distance, and the silhouette of it. I wonder if it's still active or just a corpse of the past. Too bothered to too abandoned to function. What is it? Too bothered to function, too unbothered to cease existence? It's the other way around. It's too unbothered in that no one cares and is activating it for it to function. It is too bothered as in it is too persistent. Ugh, God damn it. How many buildings like that are spanning around this place? Probably a decent amount, I'd say. Well, that kind of lack of change keeps the inevitable death afloat like never before. There's only one way to avoid the actual problems, though. You gotta move, leave this place behind. The cop did mention it. I think Molly was the name? It's kind of sad that places like these, where you really live life instead of just existing. You know, we can take action and... well, it's just ghosts. Anon is so whimsical about this fucking town. Also... yeah, whatever. I love Night in the Woods too, Arthur. Thank you. The thought of at least spending 1 year here is a bit of a relief. There's still room for me, wherever I'm supposed to be. There's still room for me, what I am, not what I'm gonna become, what they're gonna make me into. Thoughtless machine living and dying by its paycheck and constantly... Isn't the entire point of Possum Springs being a rust town that, like, survival is fucking difficult? People aren't leaving because... God damn it, man. It's like you don't understand Anon. You can have some childlike whimsy as a treat. Is he even Anon? Why is he shitposting if he's this fucking whimsical for the pastoral life of old? Well, I gotta... oh. There we go, a donut shop. Not a very good morning meal. I mean, bagels will do, but... full today, day number 1, I guess I'll stomach it. Just gonna walk in, get me some of those chocolate donuts, fat ass I am. Get out. It wasn't me and the cashier, and someone else. And someone else didn't even notice me. That's good. Hope the school will be just like that. Let's see. Time's starting to run out a little bit. I guess me thinking and taking my damn time is having its own costs. Price to pay. Sure, this town might be slow, but I can't show up at 8. Let's see. Now that I have something to eat, a donut for each hand, I can continue moving. Munching on God's glazed gift to mankind. Let's see. Probably take a little while to remember this road. I was never too good with navigation. The closer I get to school, the more I start to notice students. I guess most people around here actually walk, and there's enough youth to actually teach. I do wonder how many of them moved here like me. Probably not that many, like Molly said. People don't move here, they move out. Especially not with kids, I imagine. Well, that just makes me have just another fucking gimmick. Shit. So, what did my parents tell school? How much do they know? The first day, there's probably going to be introductions. I thought everything would be easy. Well, better get it over quick. God's glazed gift to mankind. Finally, another name for my ass. No! Please stop glazing this man with compliments. I keep hearing everyone say that AI is glazing heavily. And I was like, what, like the frosting? It's like, no, it's compliments. Like, okay, cool. I know words now. Shit. Wait, there it is. Possum Springs High School. One and only. Neatly inside downtown. Magnet to all teens around. Freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. After all, this school does teach every fucking year and isn't weird in any way. It's a grand 3-story building, probably from its heyday, considering it's a little overbuilt. Oh, I know what's gonna happen next. The minute I enter their points of view, they're gonna... And there they go. All eyes are on me. Hundreds of eyes. Their staring haunts me, gonna haunt me for the entirety of summer. What are they thinking? Is that a human? Oh, look, a skinhead. I bet he eats his own kind. I thought he'd be an animal skin with a spear in his hand.
I wonder what would happen if I show you my phone. That's technologically not advanced.
Probably see me as some kind of circus attraction. Ha! Somehow I'm the freak show among these crowds of fucking furries. Again, do these people exist normally in this world, or what? Intravenous injections are not as painful as this horrific mess. Oh, let's see. They stopped looking, that's good. Gives me a clear view on the friend circles. It's easy to tell who knows who, I guess. Not that I ever have my own who's who, but hey, it's good to know others do. This school's nothing like anywhere I've been before. Student body is furs and feathers all over, with a couple of scales as well. Now, what surprises me is the design. The hallways are way too long and wide. The lockers are just all the way to the floor. The amount of people and never-ending chatter. It's like those bigger schools, but more... It's hard to say. Like there's room. It's not all crammed together. The color palette's nicer. The layout's a bit more... usable. Makes everything so much more pleasant to look at. I can actually see the walls past the students. It's a bit darker and warmer, because whatever lights they use aren't as bright. It also means they're not as harsh on the eyes as those fluorescent tubes. It's a lot less like I'm a cog in a machine. Not like I'm working in an office tower. Parts of society and everything. I feel like a living, breathing creature. Instead of walking around a machine like a mechanic. Let's see. 7:48. Well, that means... Let's see. History. That could be worse. Could be science. Well, time to figure out how that class is going to go. History. What an interesting choice to start with. Everyone's still giving me looks. Guess the initial glances could only satisfy so much of the curiosity. Everyone looking at me with contempt and curiosity. This is nothing new. I just don't like it. Doesn't make me wonder. Wait, what? What if the first time he ended up in a disaster, the school looks as though the members... What if the first time I ended up in a disaster, the school, the building itself, like some sort of composite gestalt, remembered it, sharing that memory with every copy on the world? It's like I moved to the other side of the globe and I still get the same looks. I mean, you are in the rise of the digital age, so probably just sort of overthinking it. I'm probably the first human that's visited this town in a few years, considering no one ever moves in. For Possum Springs, a few years has to be forever. Well, the looks are probably understandable. Also, I can be... What? God damn it. Acknowledging that does not make those stares any easier to tolerate. Well... I'm gonna have to deal with someone launching 20 questions at me eventually. Might as well be ready. So remember, we are in 2014. Smartphones are not... Just saying, it's kind of weird how poor is that on and everything. I dread my way through the crowd, trying to find my classroom. It's easy enough. Most tables are already taken. People too preoccupied to even notice me, so no stairs this time. Well, it's only a seat at the front, so I guess I'll have to stomach it. I'll have to introduce myself eventually, so this way it's a little easier. The bell rings and the teacher comes in. Big old grizzly bear, diamond padded Gillette over a button shirt. How boring. Hello and welcome, everyone, the teacher says in his smoothing bass. To remind everyone who I am Mr. Baker, and I'll... I'll be your history teacher this year. Now, before we start, however, I'd like to address something. I could feel the teacher looking at me. Can't move. Please, I hope playing dead works. As some of you may know from the past year, we've been talking a lot about the relations between us, dinosaurs, and more importantly, humans. And it is my honor to present to you a new member of the class. Anon, please stand up and introduce yourself. Hi. Everyone's looking at me. My name's Anon. I don't really have any hobbies. I try to tell my heart to shut up, but it's doing its own little beat. Like a fucking war drum down there. All those eyes. It's just like when I approached. It's like a few months ago when I left. When I arrived. Every single day. God, I want to get out of here. Oh, thank you, Anon. Now sit down. Now, with that out of the way, we can start today's lesson. Oh no! Arthur Morgan! What is he doing here? This isn't Red Dead. Get out of here. What is this? Never mind. Not important. Mr. Baker went on and on, drawing what little attention anyone could spare to himself. So everyone was... Now, the reason there's little attention is naturally everyone was preoccupied, either sleeping or catching up after summer break. No one really looked at him or me. Maybe all those judging stares were just my imagination, then. Maybe I'm going nuts already. I have to do this for each class, won't I? God. Rockstar copyright claimed Arthur. No. Arthur Emoto's kitten. What? Writing down Mr. Baker's ramblings turned out to be a harder task than I could have ever imagined. The teacher just yaps and yaps endlessly as he was challenged by someone to put the entire year into a single class. Talked, wrote on the chalkboard, made diagrams that didn't make any sense. They looked more like the scribblings of a madman than anything I was supposed to learn from. I'm still going to write it down, even if it makes my brain cook itself alive. Hi, my name is Anna. My favorite things are memes, stale bread, the last season of Family Guy, ice with no water and dirt. That is all. See you guys in E1. Anna, no, that's not how you end it. Oh, don't bother with it. He's on... Oh, who's this? It's an auburn bear with a pair of calm eyes stuck behind round glasses. Everything he says is just quoted from the book. Oh. Well, my writing is a copy. It's always indecipherable. Shit. The bear looks at me and gives me his hand to shake. Angus. I always thought Angus moved into town. You know, he was new. Because doesn't May not know Angus? Hold up, we're pulling up the Night in the Woods wiki. Sorry, buddy. We're pulling him up. His name is Angus Delaney? I didn't know that. Here we go. Angus mostly knows May's relationship with Greg, as the two rarely hang out with each other without Greg. They're doing out at the Possum Jump ghost hunting mission, where Angus reveals his past to her, but he doesn't live in town, right? I always had the impression that he didn't originally live in town or was like a distant guy. But not like related to the friend group initially, because otherwise Bay would know her better. Maybe I'm just mistaken. I could just pull up the fucking game. Angus is the only main character whose family members are never physically seen, although mentioned throughout the game. How fascinating. Oh, yeah, he is on Longest Night, where he gives the stories and stuff, right? If the player spends the majority of their time hanging out with Bay will reveal that she thinks Greg and Anna's relationship will not last because they're high school sweethearts. Depending on the dialogue chosen, she goes on to explain that Angus just hasn't met many other people, saying that once they move and he sees better people, he'll move on from Greg. The idea is mostly circumstantial. The idea of their solely circumstantial relationship is challenged by the history, however. But did he live in town or not? I always got the impression that he was like an out-of-towner. Or at the very least did not hang out with May. Like his relationship with May was a lot more... well, a lot different, at least. Let's look up May's article, maybe we can find out, well, because this wiki's a bit meh. How could I forget germ warfare? It's so weird that like Night in the Woods has two like mini bonus games. Oh, she's 20 years, so yeah, this would be like 3-ish years. If she would be like 18. Wears boots that are described as cheap, greenish knockoff Doc Martens. Okay, but how does she know Angus? May originally wasn't close to Angus, was acquainted him through Greg, as he's Greg's boyfriend throughout the game. However, Angus and May become close friends. Okay, so I guess the idea is more that they just didn't know each other for a large portion. Wait a second. Aw, Bay is home enough. Just kiss already! Oh wait, no, that's actually I guess I was wrong. You know, that's fun, right? It's fun to learn. Oh my god, look at May's character nicknames. She's called May, because her full name is Margaret Borowski. May, Mayday, Killer, Nightmare Eyes, Queen of Possum Springs, Trash Animal, Mayor of Possum Springs, Kitten, Hermit, Keymaster, Bandit Queen, Margaret, by Germ. That's her name, Germ. Duder, Mary, Detective Daughter, Heathen Daughter, Monstrous Existence, Little Girl, and Little Creature. The Sky Cat has a lot to fucking tell her. I still love that the Sky Cat and everything is like, do they exist? Oh, man. They sure are up there. I like how someone put it like, if you miss a note while playing the fucking game, here's what they look like. But the real question is, does Bay kiss girls? I think not. Like, wasn't that like a detail that always caught me? Is like May, I think, is implied to be potentially bisexual, but I don't think Bay is. Gosh, it's so nice talking about characters that are not 19 or 18 in high school. Gosh, what a change of fucking pace. Why is this set in high school anyway? Like, half the point of Night in the Woods is that... God damn it, man. May is canonically a virgin, regardless if the players picks yes or no one asks about it. May has been canonically confirmed as pansexual by Scott Benson's Curious Cat page. Because May can't see faces. They just turn into shapes. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Hey! God, that is such a fucking cut. In a weird autumn edition, Bay remarks that it's used as a fake cigarette. I forgot about that. Bay is confirmed straight by Scott Benson on his Curious Cat page, supported by May's in-game, stating that she, Greg, and Annis are the only queer people in town. Which is kind of neat, right? It's like the ship you're going for. You're like trying so hard. Like with Greg, it's like he's just your friend and he's already got Angus. But with Bay, it just doesn't go there. You can't make it work. She doesn't kiss girls. I'm not saying that can't change, but you know, if it's confirmed by the canon, you can always fucking tell them to get fucked. Because if it's not in the game, it's not in the game, baby. Unless Anon explicitly wears the straight pride flag, we have a choice. Germ is fantastic. God. Hello, my name is Anon. My favorite things are my tarot girlfriend, memes, 4chan, Declaration of Independence. I definitely didn't still shit posting of still water. God. Germ is amazing. God, what a great character. I know the Germ is like 90% fucking what the hell is happening with this guy, but on the other hand, I love that on the wiki his name is Germ Warfare. It's Jeremy Wharton. Doesn't Germ vanish under some circumstances? Or is it just that you have to like see him very early. You have to know where to go or you miss him entirely. Unused animation of Germ riding his bicycle. It's one of the rare times where a character turns around, because the character's eyes apparently... Oh god, that animation just fucks me up. Wait, the house was... Weird Autumn? Huh. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Maybe it's my favorite... Like I said, if it's not in the game, and May is just like, we're the only queer people... I get it, right? But Bay is only confirmed canon. On a blog post, which is not a time and space, you can pretend otherwise. You can make it work. Dream, my friend. Dream. Angus. Anon. The fur on skin is weird, but I guess it's enjoyable. Pleasure to meet you. Likewise. Yeah, I still don't know what the hell the teacher's trying to do. I don't think God could understand what the hell's going on. Why is the process slightly pleasant? It's my first time really interacting with a human. And honestly, I thought you guys would be more wild, I guess. Well, that's fucking racist. Why isn't it italicized? You did the first thinkies. Like what? Wearing animal skins? Throwing spears? Chanting Unga Bunga? Oh, well, yes. I'm sorry if that hurt your feelings. I shall dream my gay criminal... No, your criminal gay dreams. The crimes aren't gay. The crime is gay in nature. What? The dream... Oh, God damn it. Yeah. That's fine. It's not the first time I heard something like that. I assume it happens way too often to her liking if you say it like that. Mm-hmm. What are we chatting about, Mr. Delaney? The history teacher suddenly asks both of us, though he looks at Angus. First day, I'm already caught gossiping in class. Angus simply fixes his glasses. We were discussing the importance of the first Pangean Treaty, Mr. Why is there a Pangean Treaty? You live in Pennsylvania! How does America work? The history teacher looks at Angus for a few seconds. Like, both Anon and Night in the Woods take place in just America, man. The history teacher looks at Angus for a few seconds before breathing and continuing his ramblings. Phew. Thank you, Angus. Why does he keep calling him the Auburn Bear? We get it, he's brown. Jesus. Whose profile radiates dominance. What do you mean? Oh, I get it. That does sort of happen, right? Like in one of the many anime titles I've seen. You seem to know a fair bit about history. I love it. What can I say? And I read a lot. My room is shelves upon shelves. Wasn't Angus abused? Wasn't Angus, like, shut in the larder by his... or the closet or the pantry by his mom? And he tried to develop psychic powers, and he lost his faith in God because his dad beat him? I don't know, man. I think he'd sooner say I have lots of books than mention his room. I see. It's okay if you call me a nerd or bookworm. I didn't have any intention to. He looks at me for a little while before finally looking back to the front of the room. He must have already made up his mind about me. Can't even twist this stupid fucking pen. But I guess that technically qualifies as a first friend acquired, right? I mean, he seems to be a good one. You could at least do my homework. Nobody really cares about me beyond the novelty. No one's asking me about my past. So far, so good, I guess. So what brought you here? God! Dropped the pen, and I jinxed myself. Fucking great. Reasons. Can I... There's something weird. Can I just ask this question of the audience? Am I the only one, or does it feel like Anon is kind of young? Like, something about how this is written makes Anon sound like he's not 18. Right? He sounds less mature in a weird way. I don't know what it is, but he sounds less mature. I don't know what it is. Something personal, I assume? It's okay. You don't have to tell me. I'm not gonna force it out of you. I was just surprised that you came here, and not somewhere more, civilized, like Fort Lucie. I didn't have a say in where I was gonna go. I see. And Angus goes back to the teacher again. I expected a follow-up to that question, but I guess he was true to his word that he wasn't gonna pry. Great. All that's left is to wait for the clock to wear out. See if I can get on my phone. I can't exactly look at my boards, because one look from Angus and he'd know everything, and then, well, life be hell anyway. Yeah, he does. There's something that sounds so childishly whimsical about him when Anon's whole thing is that he's... God, it's so weird! I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm so confused. Didn't even notice the bell ring. Took Angus shaking my shoulder to get me out of it. Gotta quickly shove my things away and get up. First of a dozen schools today. Any thoughts about the school so far? So is Angus thinking about Anon? Because Angus is gay, right? He is like capital G, gay man, dates a guy. You know, nerd, and he's literally, you know, nerd and the punk. But did Angus ever consider Anon? Because Anon is described as a little bit sexy, right? It takes a little while to get a coherent version of my opinion. That's different from my last school. I mean, I've never seen a school where the light doesn't try to salt your eyes. It's one of the reasons I like this school. It doesn't try to oppress you. It lets you show what you're capable of. I've seen pictures of Fort Lucerne schools, and they look exactly like what I expected. What a weird thing they agree upon, just like that. Quickly, Anon, call him an anthro slur, like Hive Hunter or Honey. Gosh, no. You gonna steal my picnic basket, buddy? And how do they look? Well, like a... What does the author have against schools, man? Jesus! We stop at a closed classroom door. So what's your next class? PE. Who's the teacher? Someone called Mr. Dornan. Oh. What? Oh, you'll be fine. Just don't test his patience. You better arrive right now to collect your clothes. Why does he say arrive right now? Why doesn't he say you better get there soon? God damn it. Okay. I'll be seeing you then. Again, Anon is trying to make friends, right? He keeps talking about how he wants to be invisible and ignored, and he's like, I want to make friends. And that's what I think is really going on. He's Inko. He's Inko with like, I want to make friends, but it's gotta be perfect and laced. I don't fucking know, man. There's something depressing about this story that's almost there. Doorknob. What are we talking about? Listen, it's illegal to lick doorknobs on other planets. Don't talk about doorknobs. Ugh. make a jog over to the gym. And for some reason, Angus waits for me. Let's check over my shoulder. He's still looking at me. Even though I'm not like anyone else around here, I can still hide in the crowd. Well, there I am, gym. It's a giant empty space. Ladders and hoops, the squeaky floor, and a lot of echo. Yeah, that's how gyms work. Ugh, every single gym is just a copy of each other. Whatever original they model it after is lost to time. There's no difference between any of these. That's you already said that. They don't. It's always the same: skidded knees, cracked knuckles, and volleyball concussions. The only difference is the teacher. That difference already standing in front of me. Welcome to the gymnasium, Mr. Orland says, his voice coarse like 40 grit sandpaper was turned into a joint. What does that mean? Why a joint? Why don't you just say that like he ate 40 grit paper? I can't believe I completely forgot about Inko. Don't worry, everyone does. So you're that new exotic thing I've heard about. What's your name, Private? This is how you get fired for racism, but also, they can't find a replacement, so he's sticking around anyway. This man is a hulking mass of flesh. Makes me feel less like a person and more like an atom. Anon, sir. I am not a sir. I work for a living, you moron. You will call me Mr. Dorian, and only Mr. Dornan. Do you understand? Yes, Mr. Dornan. Whatever the Sam fuck this is, it's the last thing I expected out of him. Good, now you're out of uniform, soldier. Where is your tracksuit? Why a tracksuit? I didn't get... Is that a thing for colder climes? I didn't get mine yet. Every word is just laced with fear. You can smell it. It's not the fear of being whooped or anything. Or I would have shivered like I was about to be... Well, it just came dunked out of a lake in Antarctica. What? There are no lakes in Antarctica, man! It's just an ice shelf! Oh my god. Those paper shuffling jackasses, how do they expect me to run this gym properly if they keep handing me their duties? Double time it over to the changing room and get your issue, then report back to me. Dismissed! Arch Dornan? Why are we referencing Fallout? Nine in the Woods never does that. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's that guy! Oh, it's him!
Outstanding. Proceed on the double to the hangar, where you will stand guard duty. You will do a fine job. Do you understand? Out.
I love this guy. He's great! Oh. How does this guy have 5 in charisma? No one will ever know. Damn. Fuck. Yes, Mr. Dornan. I make my way into the changing room as fast as I can. And feeling that omnipresent gaze of the drill sergeant gym teacher. I charge in without looking. Whew. Why did he go to... What? Why did he go to gym if he... What the fuck is going on with the order of operations here? The next 7 seconds are spent in a standoff. Dozens of different anthropomorphic animals, all in different shades of dressing up and looking at me. My life was nothing but a spree of mistakes, and now I feel like I'm about to die, beaten to death in a sweaty changing room by... Why would they do that? They're not furries like we know them! What are you talking about?
Barney,
Yeah?
weren't you supposed to meet the little guy outside? Hand him his clothes.
Fuck! One of the animals rummages through his bags and comes up to me. Clothes in hands, but no short on his slim furry body. Let me ask this question. Are you like, if you mean shirt, okay, are you implying Anon's just looking at some naked ass furry right now? Between this and him meeting Angus first, is Anon supposed to be gay? Because he's dating Bea, right? That's the ship. Oh my god, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Are there any other... Oh, here we go. You know what? Fine, here we go.
Welcome to Camp Navarro. So you're the new replacement. You are out of uniform, soldier! Where is your power armor? Don't have any? You expect me to believe that, maggot? The truth is, you lost an expensive piece of Army-issue equipment. That suit is going to come out of your pay, and you will remain in this man's army until you are 510 years old, which is the number of years it will take for you to pay for a Mark II powered combat armor you have lost. Report to the armory and have a new suit issued to you. Then report back to me, Private. Dismissed. If I like you, you can call me Sarge. But guess what? I don't like you! Do you understand? If I like you...
Oh, he's great! Oh my god, look at this fucking "we can't make the game work otherwise" line.
Excellent! You're in uniform now, so I'm going to give you a rare opportunity. We are going to start over as if I never met your sorry ass. Would you like that, soldier?
This guy's great, though. Oh. Man, Fallout has some weird ideas on how to name it serious. You were, man, so I tell you are 510 years old, which is the number of years you will serve to pay off that Mach 2 combat armor. Oh. Anon is looking at some nude guy, and, like, we're having a gay awakening. Anon's bisexual awakening is starting here.
Sorry, man.
Oh, it's nothing. Oh, no. He's hot! I quickly swap into it, so tracksuit and everything. Guess that's where the funding went. Yeah, it's a Mark II power armor for Strix. Ugh. Why is he smirking to himself? Because he thinks he's clever? Oh my god, and you loser. Let's see. We're standing in the straight line now. At attention. Attention! Welcome to senior year of high school. Your last year here in Possum Springs High School. This year we'll divide the babies from the boys and the boys from the men. All of you will get senioritis. Ha ha ha! Proof is the game was worked from the start.
The fuck's senioritis?
You get in senior year. Get the clue. Oh, wait, no.
You get a fucking clue.
Oh, thank you, Sherlock fucking Holmes. Oh, god damn it! Why are we having random teens talk? Either way, since this is your good day and I'm in a good mood, we'll be playing some old-fashioned dodgeball. There you go. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about dodgeball. The mention of the word causes an uproar from everyone else. I'm the only person who doesn't like the idea. But, like, aren't some furry species weaker? Wouldn't... God, fucking damn, whatever, man. I'm so fucking dead. Why isn't it italicized? How am I supposed to know where his thinking begins and ends if you don't use quotation marks? And he's fucking hell, man. You haven't gone a lot further than you should have. You should have met Frank Horgan. You assume the positions and scatter. You're in the command. Everyone else starts spreading out. I have to push myself to join the suicide squad in the center of the court. Seconds pass as people's chat, and soon enough the ball gets passed into one of the murderous teens. And then the whistle comes. People start running around, occasionally screaming as the ball passes too close to their faces. Some of the slower guys are knocked out instantly and leave to the benches of shame. I curse this world 1,000 times for making me move so damn much. The red missile of death flies too close to me several times, inching by every time it passes, gracing me with a few potential seconds of life. But eventually I too pay the price. It's painful. I can't lie or hide it. I'll curse this world 1,000,000 times more. But in the end, there's only one thing I can blame for this: me. So, is Anon Inko or what? Why is Anko trying to find friends, and he's athletic enough to survive dog? What is going on? Anon's gonna get a ball thrown into to forget all those delightful chaos. I can't believe we cured Anon from his gayitis by hitting him with a dodgeball. That's not supposed to work at all. What if it was an extremely straightly thrown dodgeball? That's how you do it. Someone pats me on the shoulder. There's a silhouette adorned in light. Do you mean bathed in a halo of light? Is that an angel? Did I die? No, it can't be. I have too much to do. Too many rage bait. Why is Anon trying to make friends, athletic enough to survive dodgeball, interested in the concept of someone being a boy? What is... Is Anon or not? Is this truly my end? If it is my end, I hope I don't end up in a shitty isekai.
You gonna get up or what?
A voice says distantly. I notice a hand reaching out to me and grab hold. A great force pulls me onto my feet with the greatest of ease and then wraps a hand around my shoulder to get me to the bench as far away from everyone as possible. So... Man, that was amazing. Dodgeball the... Wait.
No, that was amazing dodgeball the first day of school. What else could I ask for?
Maybe staying home.
Well, that too, actually.
And I'll notice. I notice the ochre face looking at me. A pair of needy eyes stand at my soul.
You don't look so great. And do I need to get the nurse?
Again, he's Inko. Why are we doing an Anon thing if we're using Inko?
Nah, I'm okay. You sure?
Yeah. The pain turns into an echoing egg. At least it didn't kill me. My God, that was painful.
I'm Greg, by the way.
Yeah, the fox offers me a handshake. Sure, why not? Anon. Jesus. Greg has a hell of a handshake on and practically rips my arm off.
Never thought I'd see a human up close. Man, this is exciting. You guys look so fucking weird.
That's rude.
And what it is true, though, for starters, you don't even have any fur.
Yeah, but you guys have tails, snouts, and other appendages.
You guys have strange fingers and ears.
At least we don't suffer from our own metabolism.
Man, you're so cool.
Friends. How is this Anon? How is this Anon? You're just writing... Okay, listen. This is not Goodbye Volcano High, or Snoot Game, or whatever, or Enko. This is an author writing himself into Night in the Woods and pretending it's Anon so that no one calls him a self-insert. Because, my God. First off, we're following a lot of plot beats from Wani in a weird way. I don't know, man. Despite the numbed pain, everything else goes uneventfully. I continued running away from dodgeball in the next few seconds. The more time I got hit, the less it was painful, I guess. Perhaps adaptation mode? You got used to the pain, you mean? About 10 minutes before the bell, Mr. Dornan sends everyone back to the shower. I like how Anon's just nude and showering. He's not insecure about being around Anons. About nude furries. Oh, nude furries, that's fine. You know, everyone's being racist and calling out my pee-pee. Calling my butt flat, that's fine, you know. That's something teens don't do, especially not teens of a completely different... No, that doesn't happen. Why did it happen? How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes. Relief of water running down my body. It's just what I need after an hour of running around the court and sweating like a hooker in church. Gotta get dressed in my old clothes again, shove that nasty uniform away. How am I gonna get this washed again? Self-inserts are rarely good. This is including the Loud House revamp. What do you mean the Loud House revamp? But yeah, this Anon feels like a self-insert. Because he's not Anon and he's not Inko. He's nobody. He's someone else. And I don't know why. Like, sure, you can change Anon a little, you know, make him fit in and keep the core character alive. But Anon's core has been professionally excised at this point. You guys have it a lot easier. You don't have to deal with fur and all that. Sucks to suck. Try harder at your genetic lottery next time. The next class goes on, and then it's time for lunch. It isn't that crowded, despite the sheer mass of people studying here. Line's not that big. Hell, there's free picks that don't look or smell like toxic waste. So, is this town rich or what? Because the point is that it's falling apart. That's what a rust town is, because the town is rusting over. And it keeps being described as this perfectly well-maintained, decent place to be. One more thing about this place to like. For some reason, this fucking run-down school with minimal property taxes can afford good lunches somehow. Because we're actually in a fanfiction with a self-insert who gets to live the best life and kiss Bay on the lips. When I get out of line, someone's waving me over. Of course it's Greg. Sitting next to Angus at a free table. Well, might as well go for it. I won't catch as many eyes if I'm not alone. All was P.
Oh, it was amazing! I met this guy here. He's so cool!
You consider everyone you meet cool, Bug?
Oh, you know it, Captain.
Between that cheeky smile and the cute nicknames, there's a possibility these two are a pair. High school sweethearts goes for gays as well, I guess.
Anyway, I'll go try to grab a few of our friends. I'll be right back.
The ochre. Why do you keep specifying it's ochre? Just call him a fox. Leaves us as me and Angus are left alone. I try to eat my food. He's just looking around. I don't know why, though. He should be from around here, right? So what are those friends that it's gonna get? Beatrice and May. Oh, they're nice people. A little odd, a little closed in, but honestly, who isn't a little odd nowadays? Wasn't May specifically known for brutally assaulting someone? Wasn't, like, May's entire backstory that she brutally assaulted someone in school? Like, before senior year? Because she went to therapy with Dr. Ink. Disappointing, not even a poly cell with Greg and Angus. They're fucking missing out here. Have Anon kiss the fox. It's the furry law. You have to make out with the fox. I don't know. I've recently been to a... Wait. Both you and I have some worms in our brain. Anon is not a nerd. What are you talking about? I don't know. I'm in a hospital. My doctor didn't know there's any parasites in my head. Let's see. Kind of think of it, all of us are built to self-destruct. We'll try to fight it. Someone brace it. What are you talking about? All of us are built to self-destruct. What is your life, Anon? As someone like Anon should believe that some people are better than others, because that's like how that culture functions. But what are you talking about, buddy? There's a trio coming closer to us. It's Greg and two others. To the left of Greg is a goth crocodile girl. It's the best way I could describe her. She's a head taller with a black dress and a white on. Does she wear the same thing out of high school? Black tights, high boots? Stark teal scales look cold, and those dark blue eyes stare into my soul carelessly. What would... Carelessly? You mean listlessly. She's apathetic. Also, to his left, apparently sharing the same dimensional space as the crocodile girl, so they're just kind of merged together Cronenberg style, is also a dark blue cat who's slightly shorter than him. Dressed in, well, nothing too much exciting. Both of them are clearly trying to be alt. Nightmarish red eyes stare directly at me. Oh, that's great. Her hair's notched head. Oh, God, she's gonna kick my ass, isn't she? Anyway, that's chapter 2. So I'm gonna read one of the comments. Because I might as well. But first, I'm gonna take a little potty break. Go. Oh. Back in a minute, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do the links. Cause man, what's even going on? Okay, here we go. Here's this guy's comment. Okay, I've read this, and I have a lot to say. There are good things, don't get me wrong, but this chapter feels like a big step down from your usual quality. First, the directly actionable bits. A lot of senses need working. I've picked a few in particular. It means there's still room for him, for what he is and what he's supposed to be. And that thoughtless machine that just goes from 9 to 5 and then goes home and does the same thoughtless thing before going into bed and thinking what he did wrong. It's a way to run-on sentence. You should really break it down into 2, at the very least 2, maybe 3. How long is the sentence in terms of word count? Because it's 4 lines long. Could be 5 even. Okay. So view summary. 70 fucking words. Jesus. And it's not even like a straightforward sentence either. The cop that took him home past night, Molly, said it herself. I would replace past with last. Find a synonym for writings. Oh, it's writing Mr. Baker's writings. Ugh. He has so much to do. So much rage baits is so much. Jesus. Now for the second part. There's no nice way in saying this, but if I were you, I'd go back through the whole chapter and take another pass. Get a proofreader maybe to help see from a new angle. Compared to what you usually write, I feel like it's a bit rushed. With a lot of grammar mistakes, weird phrasing, and overuse of repeated words. It makes an abnormally clunky read. Yeah, man, it's ultraviolet. And finally, a narrative complaint. I don't think someone would or should grab Anon and tell him about me directly. If anything, it'd be better to have him know nothing when he meets her. Much like how the player doesn't know what May did until later in the game. We should still overhear names, like the killer thing, and grow aware of the stares and discomfort from her peers. Maybe he notices that people act suspicious of him right after it is revealed that he hangs out with her. An exposition dump like that you have now is weak, and reduces the depth you can apply going forward. For example, Anon could end up having a falling out with May at the midway low point over the issue to drive some narrative conflict. Now, with the means of it, then I don't care about the stuff. He loves the character descriptions, which is really... I mean, fair enough, but that's because the originals are written so well. They carry themselves. You aren't, man. But it's kind of weird that they have dinos and normal lizards. It's really weird. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Yeah, so, that's all we're doing of this, probably. Weird and useless add-on. I'm gonna look at some of this guy's other stuff. Useless and on, you said. Doesn't show up. Possible because something above can high. That happens from time to time. You know, I'm all for reading this, but sorry to tell you, buddy, this is Spanish. I can't read this. I can't read Espanol. Not to the extent necessary to read this. Yeah, I'll give him this much. Not that something really to have a little. Yeah, ay caramba. This is Spanisho. Mi nombre es Anonymous, el primogénito de la cabanza del clan Mus. Pero las cosas no fueron como esperaba. I don't know what that means. What does Anon mean? Is there a translation of this? Somewhere? Pretty heroes. What a weird idea. Why would you quote Goodbye Volcano High? One fake relationship tag. Boy, a promise of a lifetime. Fuck, that's another one I forgot. Oh, well. Maybe it's on fanfiction.net. Hold up. I have to admit, ow, my eyes! This website is bright. Yeah, man. Sorry to tell ya. I mean, Duolingo only goes so far anyway. This ain't working. Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, buddy. But, yeah, fucked. Absolutely fucked. I would love to be good enough at Spanish that I could just translate it on the fly. As I could probably do with English to Dutch, but...
Sorry to tell you, my man.
The best I could do is a translation. To Google. Or we could make it a long-form project where I actively try to learn Spanish while translating it. Which would, it'd be an interesting project, to say the least. Like, that would very much be, if I recall correctly, Dave promised some links. So let's take a look at that. Excellent. Dave comments has vanished into the ether. That's fantastic. I have it. There we go. Took a little bit of digging, but there it is. The hell am I looking at? Man, I should play Aquarius sometime. Because it is an interesting game, and maybe this time I can actually understand it. I mean, probably, but... I think if I were to do this, it would require a bit more concerted effort. Anyway, let's go look at your links, Scary Dave. What is this? Oh, it's a cute little animation. Oh my god, it's the fucking... It's the stupid dating rhythm game. It's all awkward, but hey, fucking props for trying. Meet worm drama. That's trying his best in the back. No, we got the kiss! It's an awkward snoot kiss. Why are they mermaids? Where's Anon? Everyone knows he's the true mermaid of them all. Because he's the leanest. He has the best hydrodynamics! Why is Naomi dancing like that? Don't know how to feel about that. Holy shit, what a nose. Just still dancing. God damn it. The fucking... I like that dancing lizard a lot. I will share him with my friends. Cool femboy facts. One day you will have to answer for your actions. And God, well, I don't know. Cool bug facts. One day you will have to answer for your actions. And God may not be so useful. Well, ain't that just how life works? Now, boys that use want to be. This is a little kitty kitty. That's a little kitty kitty. Ah. I don't know what these words are. Eco según la mitad de los fanfics. Hold up, I need a hand here. Hold up, please, a minute. According to half of the fanfictions. What's going on here? God damn. God damn, what's going on? Live reaction. I mean, there's a good reason why the vast majority of people tell you never to have a furry character face directly at the camera. Feeling cute, might stalk my crush later. Sure fucking is the vibe. Oh, that's interesting. Fang's snoot is about as long as the top part, so Fang kind of looks like a boomerang in a weird way. Slavic Riz, and unknown. You would die instantly, which would kill you. People do die when they are killed, and you should probably keep that in mind before you get into a little situation. Fang, my...
She can't even focus her eyes.
Oh. That's just gross, man. Of course, Reed would think it's a ghost, though. God, I love how weird that kiss looks. Like, the snoot takes so much away from a kiss, man. You're rubbing faces together, and the snoot means you're all the way over there. It's so awkward, man. Can't believe Anon's holding on to an axe plan to kill his friends. That's just how it goes, I guess. Nasser Kinney. Guys, am I tweaking or does my sock kind of look like it does? See if the Polish translation of Wani is any competent whatsoever. We'll see what Google Translate has to say. The fuck are you doing? Holy shit, I really like that male fang. That's nice. That's a nice one. I like how they did the puffier hair. Neat. I like how Anon's like, God damn it, I want to smoke that! Poor guy, he just wanted to get lung cancer at an early age. We have robbed him of his one dream. Naomi speaking. No, Naomi can't just... I like how fucking she grew up. What is it with you and Naomi today, my man? Old Anon and old Fang. Gosh, they do look old. Oh god, it's sucking. he does suit the role in a weird way. I don't see Spears posing, but Nobi getting fucking slapped. The thing is, Naomi doesn't really do all that much actively. Like, she sets the pieces in motion, but Anon's the one who carries it through, you know? Amber's Tamberlion. She's a monkey now! Why is Amber trying to teach Anon? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Jesus. God damn it. Oh, what's this? Happy Friday, fuckers. Check out... Oh, it's Snook Game Encore! And they made an animation for the band. This feels like a lot of extra effort, all things considered. I like how Reed hits himself in the face. Man, I really like how Fang's makeup is a bit more dynamic in this. Again, why did the people behind Goodbye Volcano High insist on using an engine that doesn't let the characters do anything? You look at this and I'm like, man, they could have just bought a fucking anime studio and made it work better. Fuck. You should have just hired an anime studio. I get so mad every time. Always wanted a human boyfriend. Oh no, how to get a boyfriend? That's such a stupid book! Ending one Blender animation. It's not really ending one if Ave Maria doesn't play on the trombone. Goddamn, fucking Anon loses his shit. I still think that Fang checking Anon out is like the high note of that game. Ah! Listen. Everyone knows that ending one. Everyone knows that ending one. Everyone knows that ending one in Snook Game, when that happens, Ave Maria starts playing on the trombone and nothing else. Because Anon deserves nothing. Reality will not take him seriously. Fang had a moment. Now it's time to make sure that Anon knows he fucked up. Trombone! Try a little harder next time, buddy. Maybe you can actually do something right for once. How did you get this? How did you get it this bad anyway? Do you know how hard you have to fuck up to get someone to do this? You were this close. Allow me to make this this close. Where is it? Where is it? Surely someone made a code snippet of just this.
You were close.
Exactly, Professor Oak. You were this close. Goddamn. Well, we're done for today. I can't read Useless Anon. The reason there being so many links for Naomi is because the Snoop Bro make me like her. Oh, blonde. A blonde girl. Poor guy. Male fang delectable. There's sunlight, darkness. It's a rare shipping one. Holy shit, we got some rare ships in our house. Our house. In the middle of our ships, our house. In the middle of our ships, our house. Listen, I really, I need you to understand, right? I need you to understand that I really like Ave Maria played on the fucking trombone. It's perfect. It's kind of like this, but it's also like Ave Maria on the trombone. I'm putting it back on again. I'm putting it back on. Listen, it's too great. I can't read this! Oh, wait, no. This is even hell as it's here. Seth, you're looking in the wrong place. I can't reach sunlight darkness. It's written in... Why do you keep linking me the Spanish ones? And on Sage is not that rare, though. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm reading another one with it, too. Not as great. Oh, God. What a weird way of formatting it. They're straight up copying the game, huh? Man, if only I could write in Spanish. Problem with me writing in Spanish is even if I learn Spanish, like the intricacies of the Spanish language, the weight of words and all that fun stuff, and what's considered acceptable setup is, you know, there's so much to see, so much to learn. Writing in English, I have so much. I know that mente is apparently used for like adverbs. Anyway, as we um as we close off tonight's stream, I would like for all of you to remind you that Moonbase Alpha is a hell of a ride, yes, especially when it's fallen down. What even happened, man? What the fuck happened? We'll save this one for a minute. I want you to remember that. And I love the little picture they got of like the little Moonbase man reaching for the toe wheels. He's got a little hand. Still weird. Like my God, it's so weird how my Undertale thing. I stopped towards the end because I was like a little piss baby about losing. I was like, I got a perfect run. I was gonna die, and so I stopped. And then I came back and my save was gone. I could do it all over again. I was like, I don't fucking care this time. Fucking let life beat me up. Saying about this, maybe I can afford the cool Tem armor that exists specifically so that you can't lose permanently. Anyway, can't believe I fucked up. Life is hell. Piss and shit. No. How many doots? How many doots do you get for watching a rocket very slowly hit Pikachu? I don't know, but the song can teach you. Undertale 2. Gosh dang it. I need to know how to read it. Listen, I'm trying my best, right? I'm trying my best. But I'm not exactly interested in learning Spanish. I don't... Listen, how many words is Sunlight? Okay, it's 23,000 words over 7 chapters. If you really want me to, as I said, one of the best ways to learn a language is to just fucking read one. The downside is this would involve me basically having a little dictionary by my side the whole way, and I'd be translating words left and right. But I would also learn Spanish at an increasing rate because I'm constantly confronted with the language, right? It'd be a way to learn, but it'd also be a weird stream. It would mean that I could finally read Spinito, and I could start doing Spanish fix, I guess. We can go down a brand new rabbit hole. Terrifying. The only downside is that my Spanish would be entirely defined by all that, but hey. Fuck. There aren't a lot of funny characters that got taken over yet. Broken snake, the first thing that talked. The harmonium. The head of the singing order of angels. Winged alligator looks kind of like bear. Monday, the world fish. Named back when people were stupid and thought whale were fish. Monday is my sign. Dalmatron. Bill with an eye in the middle. Rings at the end of the world when Monday shakes everything off her back. And I think it all catches fire too. Man, Monday, pick your poison. Just a fish. Self-explanatory. Angus' sign. Having fun there, Angus? Inventor of music. A bird of sorts reminds me of Germ. She executed by a king somewhere, put her head in the trunk and threw it in a river somewhere where it continued to speak against her murders for years. That also happens in Ironclaw, the Falon, if like a decapitated head somewhere. I forgot what he does, but you know, there you go. There's a head over there that still talks. Because Ironclaw, despite its trappings, has a pretty fucking goofy ass magic setting, and I'm all for it, man. If you put your head in the water or somewhere in a river in Italy, she will tell you about her murder. They named it the River of Guilt. Not like the guilt of her murderers, more like it's giving you a guilt trip or something stupid. This constellation is garbage. Wish it was the scourge of the French countryside. They had a spear through him and to the ground. Oh, they had to put a spear in him in the ground just to keep him down, like in general. Mermodes. The Lola King, a bear. And that's all 13 of them. Oh, that's adorable. Man, now I kind of want to see good old Alex Diener's original playthrough, because he played it back then. I didn't think much of him. That was such a weird time. It's Zombie Awareness Month. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that apparently I can't read the best fics out there, but maybe someday in the future, because like I said, I'm not exactly in a rush to learn Spanish. Regardless, and the best therapy would be to like actively try to translate these on the fly so that I can absorb the knowledge as we go. Like I said, it's shock therapy because Duolingo is not. I don't do it that intensively, mostly because I don't like how Duolingo actually teaches. Eh, whatever, man. Oh no. Oh no, that one guy's complaining about the contracts for Yama, which I don't know what it means, but he's very angry about it. Oh, poor guy. Maybe one day I'll learn Deutsch. Maybe even Dutch. Hey, if you know German, you're well ways in the Dutch. Well, that's the stream. I don't know what we're streaming next fucking week. Probably more Wani Kiss, because let's go to something that I can actually read and that isn't fucking stupid. Which, I'll let you decide if the Spanish ones are stupid or I can't read them. We all know the answers that I can't read them, but yeah, I'll let you pretend that I'm mean. I'm just gonna do a little wave and go bye-bye. Have a good weekend, losers! And that's when my motorcycle goes vroom vroom and a big smoke cloud appears as I drive off. And just like that drill post, you see my dead corpse among the wreckage. Yeah. Yeah.